Cleveland Browns Stadium is a great place to play. If you're the Cleveland Browns, they're 3-0 at home. Their best home start since 1973. To make it 4-0, they'll have to beat one of the best teams in the NFL, the 5-0 Philadelphia Eagles, who've won their last 8 road games. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cleveland Browns on the NFL on Fox. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen, along with a man who played here many times with the Kansas City Chiefs, Bill Maas. And for the Philadelphia Eagles, they've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last 4 years. They've added a very important piece to the puzzle in Terrell Owens. But not only has he helped their offense, he's also helped their defense.
Oh, T.O.'s helped I think he's helped you and I, Sam.
That's right.
T.O. has been amazing. Just the numbers he's put up on offense stand for themselves. But defensively, it's made a huge difference because this defense has been able to play the game with a lead. They've been able to tee off and play one-dimensional football and rush the passer. Teams have been forced to pass. Now, I'm anxious to see, though, how this defense plays the run, because teams have run the ball against them. They've given up. He's going to concentrate on keeping the ball on the ground and chewing up the clock and keeping that offense off the field.
Now the Browns are 3-3, hoping to get on a roll. As I mentioned, they're 3-0 at home. They put up 31 points against Cincinnati last week, their best output of the season. However, they still have concerns on offense, Bill.
Well, you know, I think you will have concerns when you're always shuffling people in and out. And the thing about it is, you have running back by committee. You got Suggs in there. You have William Green in there. And now this week with the trades and injuries at wide receiver position, that'll be wide receiver by committee. You have guard by committee due to injuries. And I think when you lose your Kellen Winslow, a tight end that you wanted to build your offense around, that can be a problem as well. Until this team can get the guys on the field that are going to maintain on the field and get some chemistry amongst them, I don't think the timing will be there, and all the key things to running an offense won't be there either.
Well, you still might want to put some of those offensive players on your singular fantasy football on Fox team for this week. There's still time. Text message play to 63504 on your singular wireless phone, or log on to foxsports.com. They're waiting in the dog pound for Jay Glazer. He's next.
Jay Glazer back here in Cleveland, and guys, just because a team starts off 3-0 at home doesn't mean they get all the home field advantages. A little gamesmanship earlier this morning. Prior to the game, the Cleveland Browns gave the officials the set of game balls they wanted to use. Well, upon inspections, the officials felt that they were already used in a game, too scuffed up, and they sent them back to the Browns, insisting upon new balls. Now, the significance here is usually a brand new ball gets very slick for a quarterback. A ball that's been scuffed up already is a lot easier to handle for a guy like Jeff Garcia. It's interesting to think about what would have happened had he been able to use one of those old balls. Back to you guys up in the booth.
All right, we'll see. Brand new footballs to be used. Browns will kick off.
Some quarterbacks, Sam, have a hard time throwing the brand new game balls right out of the box. They are too slick, like Jay Glazer said. Most of the guys like them just scrubbed up a little bit, you know, heated up some, beat some. They have a better grip of it and a better feel for throwing it.
Bill Dawson kicks off. J.R. Reed, fourth in the NFL with a 28.2-yard return average. Spins and is hit hard as he got close to the 25-yard line. Good hit from Eric Westmoreland, the backup linebacker. Donovan McNabb, 9 touchdown passes. Did not throw a touchdown pass last week, first game this season. He did not have one, only 2 interceptions. You see the great completion percentage. Offensive line, big, strong. Look for John Runyon against Ebenezer Ekubon. That'll be a good matchup. Josh Perry starts at fullback, but Brian Westbrook is the key man offensively, running the ball, catching the ball, and of course, T.O., Terrell Owens, who's caught 30 passes and 6 touchdown passes. 2 tight ends to begin for the Eagles. McNabb going up top and deep for Owens. He makes the adjustment and the catch. Spins against McCutcheon. It's Todd Pinkston. It's Todd Pinkston, excuse me. Todd Pinkston against Dalen McCutcheon. It's down to the 11-yard line.
All the talk about T.O., and the one guy you can't forget about is the other receiver, and this is Pinkston. And when you get a one-on-one matchup with Pinkston, I think you have to take it, because so much emphasis is drawn by T.O. by rolling the safeties over to his side of the field, to his coverage, Sam. That's a guy you just cannot go to sleep on, because they'll find a way on one-on-one matchups to just chuck it up, and he can push off and make a play like that.
65-yard pass play, the longest of the season for the Eagles. First and goal. McNabb throws wide open. Touchdown, Eagles. Mike Bartram, the third tight end. Excuse me, Chad Lewis. My apologies. Chad Lewis on the catch. And the touchdown for Lewis gives the Eagles the quick lead, 2 plays. And for Chad Lewis, his first touchdown of the season.
You know, Sam, they got him on the pump fake. Donovan McNabb hit that pump fake, and it froze the linebacker, Andre Davis, number 54, who was supposed to cover Chad Lewis.
Akers' extra point is good. What a start for the Eagles. 2 plays, 75 yards, 43 seconds, and they have the lead.
54 right in the middle. See him get caught on the pump fake. He loses sight of the tight end. The tight end was Chad Lewis. He gets moving. Touchdown, Eagles.
Eagles, an outstanding first quarter team. They jump on teams, as Bill mentioned, right at the top. And here they are 43 seconds into the game with a 7-0 lead.
2 plays and a touchdown?
Unbelievable.
Well, Andy talked about striking fast and how important it is to take the crowd out of the home team. When you're on the road, the noise, especially in a doghouse like this, can get extremely crazy and really cause a problem for the offensive line and the tackles and what they hear. If you quiet them quick, Andy feels, it takes them out of it. Now you can get back to operating your offense and making checks and audibles at the line of scrimmage.
David Akers kicks off. Andre King, his 3rd return of the season. D. Brown was released earlier this week. Gets up to the 34. Hard hit by Ike Reese, the leader of the special teams coverage teams for the Eagles.
Well, this is Andre Davis. Now, he's responsible for the tight end. He's going to motion across here. But what happens is Donovan McNabb pump fakes this direction. And when he pump fakes, watch. It freezes him just for a second. See him freeze? Now he's looking to the inside, and he loses sight of the tight end. And he gets right by him, and nobody's in the middle of the field at the post.
Browns come out with 2 tight ends, Aaron Shane, Steve Hyden. Dennis Northcutt in motion. Wide receiver Andre Davis is inactive today. Garcia on first down to Aaron Shea. Shea breaks away from Michael Lewis and then gets knocked out of bounds by Sheldon Brown up close to the 40-yard line. Let's check out the Browns on offense. Jeff Garcia had 4 touchdown passes last week in the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Passed for over 300 yards. Offensive line, Ryan Tucker back after missing 3 games. Kelvin Garmin was shaken up last week. He starts. In the backfield, Terrell Smith is the blocking back. And is he big? And they start out with Lee Suggs going out wide to the right. Quick outside to Suggs, who had over 100 yards, had 100 yards exactly receiving last week. Michael Lewis with a stop, about a yard short of the first down. Eagles on defense, they have 20 sacks, tied for the league lead. Javon Kearse has 3. The linebackers, Jeremiah Trotter starts for the injured Mark Semino, who is out. And the safeties, Michael Lewis and Brian Dawkins. Lito Shepherd had 2 interceptions last week. Jeremiah Trotter, who has played well on special teams. They come up about ½ yard short of the measurement. Tom White is our referee. Trotter, who called Andy Reid and asked to come back to the Eagles after he was let go by the Washington Redskins.
And Andy, he obliged. He said, hey, that's a guy I always liked. And he kind of went through a humbling experience when you think you're going to go someplace and be the starter and be the big dog, and gets let down and fails. It doesn't really work out for you. He says, I know what the guy can do, and I love how he plays the game.
William Green and Terrell Smith in the backfield with 2 tight ends. They need a ½ yard for the first down. Green steps up, and it's Smith, the fullback, carrying for a first down.
Yep. Terrell Smith is something else.
His third carry of the season. He doesn't carry much. He didn't carry all of last season with the New Orleans Saints.
The fans identify with this guy because he is as blue-collar as they come. Terrell Smith is exactly what the modern-day athlete is not.
What do you mean by that, Bill?
It's all about doing whatever he possibly can for the team.
William Green finds a nice hole and pulls his way across the 40 to the Eagles' 38-yard line. Strong run for William Green, who had a big game last week with 115 yards rushing.
And Smith, I want you to take a look. Here's Smith here. And watch him get up into the linebackers and make the block. Look at this. Boom. Now, it's there. Now, Green knows to bounce off it. He tells his running backs, Suggs and William Smith, he says, you know, follow me, guys. Follow me right into the hole, and if it's not there, that's when you bounce out. But follow me first.
Sam Rayburn and Hollis Thomas are in at the tackles for the Eagles. Andre King went in motion. William Green goes straight ahead and gets about 3 on the play, and that's what the Browns talked about.
Running.
Downhill running attack, straight ahead.
And they have to stick with it. I don't think they can come out of it, Sam. I think they have to stick with this approach, even though Philadelphia has scored quickly. I think you got to wear these guys down. And the key to wearing them down is number 42. And that's a guy that'll wear you down. Because if you keep hammering them, at some point in the game, your linebackers aren't going to want any more of them.
Steve Hyden lined up in the backfield, shifts to the right tight end position. Now Terrell Smith shifts. On the fake, rolling is Garcia. Chased by Javon Curse, pulls him down. A sack, number 4 for Javon Curse this season. Let's see JB, what he has with an update. JB, go ahead.
Hey, Sam, Detroit rookie Roy Williams supposed to be only 75% healthy because of that ankle. Hey, this double move says he's okay here. An 18-yard haul in, his 5th touchdown reception of the season. Detroit up 7-0 on the Giants. Back to Sam, Bill, and Jay.
Giants coming off a bye week.
And that's one area of the field of the play calling that they've actually put into the fold for Jeff Garcia. And that's the rollout plays, because that's actually where Jeff Garcia is best. Outside the pocket.
There's a timeout for the Browns. They were set up on a 3rd and long. The play clock running down. They call a timeout. The Eagles have the early lead. The Browns trying to sustain a drive.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time.
Cleveland Browns are well below the league average on 3rd down conversions. They have to get just inside the 29. That's Antonio Bryant. Joined the team Tuesday in a trade for Quincy Morgan. Garcia scrambling, looking, throwing on the run. And the pass is complete for a first down to Aaron Shea, the tight end. What a grab. Aaron Shea, who missed a lot of last season with a shoulder injury, has done a good job. And there's Garcia making things happen with a scramble.
The one thing, you know he's going to hear Shea. The ball's actually thrown behind him a little bit, but he does a great job.
Wow.
Staying after that thing is on the ground. He was battling for it. And you can't let Jeff Garcia get out of the pocket to his right. He is absolutely deadly when he does that.
First down at the 28. The toss to Suggs. Led by Smith. Big hole. Down the sideline. Sheldon Brown pulls it out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Smith and Green. Nice combination for Cleveland.
He is absolutely beautiful. He says he molded his game after the true fullbacks, Sam Gash and Lorenzo Neal. And he just takes pride in blowing somebody up. He said who he really likes to go after is the first rounders, Sam. He says, when I have to block somebody, I look up the first rounders because I want to take them off their cleats, right out of the ground and get into them. He got into Michael Lewis right there and sprung that whole thing open.
That was Lee Suggs on the carry. William Green in the backfield now as they rotate their backs. Here's Green taking it, big hole, aiming for the corner, touchdown. first rushing touchdown of the season for William Green, the Browns' third. 11-yard run, and the ground game set it up for Cleveland.
And they stuck with it. They didn't panic. They didn't get out of it. Key third down completion made possible by the scrambling of Jeff Garcia to keep the play alive.
Extra point by Phil Dawson is good. Butch Davis says it's hard to ride two horses at the same time, but Green and Suggs doing a good job.
Nate Wayne pushed to the ground. Hole sprung open. Touchdown Browns. They're back in it, Sam.
The respective coaches, Andy Reid on the left, Butch Davis on the right. Andy Reid scoring quickly. Butch Davis feeling his offense is starting to create some drives last couple of weeks.
And they've got to stay patient. They've got to keep their game on the ground, Sam. The birds may soar, but groundhogs don't get sucked into jet engines. Remember that.
Phil Dawson kicks off. J.R. Reid waits for it at the 6. Reid cuts it and then slipped and went to the ground, and the Eagles take him down at about the 28-yard line. There was an opening, but Reid slipped. Last night in Boston, game 1 of the World Series. What a wild one. Red Sox got up early, 7-2. David Ortiz, the big home run. But the Cardinals came back, helped by errors and some timely hits. It was 9-9 after this play by Manny Ramirez, who made 2 errors in the game. But then it was Mark Bellhorn in the bottom of the 8th. 2-run homer off the foul pole. Red Sox win game 1, 11-9. Game 2 tonight right here on Fox, beginning at 7:30. Matt Morris and Kurt Schilling go at it. Brian Westbrook and Josh Perry in the backfield for the Eagles. It's Westbrook. Little dancing in the hole. Gets up across the 30 to the 31. Andre Davis, the middle linebacker. The Browns have 2 Andre Davises, one a wide receiver who is out with a foot injury today.
Just spelled different, right? The first name. That's all. You know, this is something that Andy really doesn't like to get into. That I formation, power run game come at you. I mean, self-admitted, he'll tell you, I can't stand running the football. And that's rare to hear from a head coach who is an offensive lineman.
There's Westbrook taking it around the right side. Good lead block from L.J. Smith. Westbrook out of bounds at the 42-yard line. But when you got a guy like Westbrook, you can run it pretty well.
You know, I don't think they actually knew what they had when they drafted him. They knew he was good. They saw him at Villanova. But you always have questions when you're drafting, you know, a 1AA school or Division II school. You're just not quite sure. And given his size at 5'10", you think about durability all the time. But Andy has found that the more you give the guy the ball, the more it's in his hands when he's running, the more it's in his hands when he's passing, the better he is and the better he becomes.
Picked up 11 on the last carry. First down, Eagles at the 42. L.J. Smith went in motion. McNabb waits, throws short to Terrell Owens. Owens turns it into a nice gain inside the Browns 40, out of bounds at the 39. And Terrell Owens has now caught a pass in 121 consecutive games.
Well, they find different ways to get him the ball. Whether he's isolated outside, whether he's going deep, they read the coverages. That time it was man-to-man downfield. And the other receivers took their defenders deep. And then you have T.O. coming underneath. What you do in game planning different teams is you study their primary coverages. Then Andy goes about and finds plays for Owens, Westbrook, and L.J. Smith.
3 wide receivers in. Everybody goes out. McNabb gets time. Waits. Throwing deep downfield. Touchdown! They did it again. Terrell Owens with his 7th touchdown of the game. Ooh. That's not much of a celebration as he goes after the Browns fans, throwing the ball against the wall.
Well, it was
39-yard touchdown pass.
It was the sign that says T.O. has B.O.
Well,
and he threw the ball right into that.
Well, T.O. has T.D., his 7th touchdown reception of the season.
I don't know if you want to rile these fans up here.
I agree with you. You know them better than a lot of people. David Akers for the extra point. lead at 14-7. Donovan McNabb has thrown 2 touchdown passes already, giving him 98 in his career.
Well, the thing about it is great pass protection by the offensive line. Donovan McNabb never has to move. Then it's man-to-man coverage, and it's Anthony Henry versus Terrell Owens in the end zone. Owens comes up big.
Some of the guitars that Bill Maas has donated to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 88 career touchdown catches for Terrell Owens. He's now tied for 6th all-time in the NFL with Don Maynard.
I only got air guitars.
Oh. Andre King from the 9, led by Frisman Jackson. Gets up to the 30-yard line where he's taken down.
You know what that first pass touchdown to Pinkston did? Now it makes your safety. You're playing man-free underneath here. See this? It's man with a free safety. Well, he looks in at Pinkston, and he jumps it. See, look, he jumps Pinkston right here. See him step in? You can never let T.O. get behind you. Never, as a free safety, let T.O. get behind you. That's Earl Little there.
William Green and Terrell Smith in the backfield as the Browns start from the 30-yard line. Green on the delay, finds an opening. That was a good run for William Green. First down of the 42. Wow. Green off to a terrific start for the Browns. 12-yard pickup. Michael Lewis made the stop. Wow. William Green, 4 carries, 43 yards.
Well, normally they follow the fullback. They follow Smith. But watch Smith come up here. He takes it. When he sees that, he cuts it all the way backside where the center and the backside guard have the defensive line and the nose sealed.
Browns with 3 wide receivers. Antonio Bryant is in. Dennis Northcutt in motion. The toss to Lee Suggs. Turns the corner. Suggs running well. He's out of bounds. Lito Shepherd chased him out in Eagles territory. First down at the 46.
Well, when you look at this Eagles defense, look at what you think there. You're thinking Javon Curse outside, and on the other side, of course, you're thinking Burgess over there, and they're smaller guys. And you're thinking maybe you can hit the perimeter on these guys, but you're not quite sure because of the speed they have with their defense if you want to make that the emphasis. Every time they've gone to the outside, they've gotten the perimeter blocked and had success there.
Suggs 2 carries, 29 yards. Andre King in motion. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Straight ahead. William Green got maybe a yard on the play. Michael Lewis, the leading tackler on the Eagles, made the stop.
You know, one of the things with Semino out and Trotter in, Trotter's almost 270 pounds. When you have that kind of Mike linebacker, you're going to keep him up around the line of scrimmage. So you're going to make a guard commit to him. But what that does is it freezes the guard, and it doesn't let the guard get up on top to the backers to the strong safety. With bringing in Trotter like that to occupy the other linemen, you can see the freedom it gave the strong safety and other linebackers to make
2 tight ends in. Garcia, quick toss complete to Andre King down to the 40-yard line. Flag on the play. We'll check it out. First flag of the game. Eagles, one of the better teams, least penalized teams.
Formation, number 77, offense, the 5-yard penalty remains. Second down.
That's on Ross Verba, the left tackle.
No, it's not.
What? Who's it on?
Well, it's on one of the receivers.
Somebody wasn't on the line?
Yeah,
okay.
they always call it on the tackle. And see, the tackle lines up in the same position all the time. But when the end man on the line of scrimmage is not a receiver, which it has to be covered up. Oh, King just went down to the ground.
Andre King just fell down.
He came out of the huddle. He came out of the huddle and ran to the line of scrimmage and just dropped. Now, I don't know if that cramp would do that to you or
right leg injury. And the trainers quickly on the field.
They can't afford another loss at wide receiver.
They are short on wide receiver. Andre Davis is out inactive with a foot sprain. Did not practice all week. They brought up Frisman Jackson from the practice squad. They're short in wide receivers. Medical staff working on Andre King's left ankle, and the play before, he may have hurt it here, Bill.
Well, you can see after the play's over, he gets up and kind of grabs his left leg. Gets twisted up here, and as he's getting up, see him grabbing it.
Brisbane Jackson replaces him. In motion, Lee Suggs. Garcia pressured, hit as he throws. Deep downfield, intercepted by Lito Shepherd. And he was down. He was touched down at the 4-yard line. Lito Shepherd, who had 2 interceptions last week, with the pick here, his 3rd of the season. Dhani Jones with the hit on Garcia.
Well, here's Dhani Jones right over here. And this is going to be a hesitation upfield, and watch him come back underneath. See that? It's like a stunt between the end and the outside linebacker, and the ball doesn't have enough air underneath it. Interception, Eagles.
Doubleheader day in the NFL on Fox, and some of you will see, most of you will see the Cowboys at the Packers. Some will see Seattle at Arizona. New Orleans on the road as well. And there goes Andre King. Not a good sign as he is carted into the locker room for x-rays. Lito Shepherd, who is really developing into a superb cornerback, Bill, as they went young at the corners.
Oh, yeah.
The Eagles.
I mean, that's vision, and that's how the Eagles have handled everything they've done since Andy Reid's been there. Always planning for the future, so that it's not all for today and then nothing tomorrow. And these guys have just played tremendous football. 2 excellent cover guys in Lito Shepherd and Sheldon Brown.
Dorsey Levin's in at running back for the Eagles. Michael Myers at defensive tackle for the Browns. McNabb throwing, completing to Chad Lewis, the tight end, up to the 10-yard line. Giants trying to come back against the Lions. What's happening, JB?
Hey, Sam, they're doing it with Tiki Barber, the NFL's leader in total yards from scrimmage. Take a look here, hooking up on this pass play. Tiki carrying the ball just like Jimmy Johnson described during the pregame show. May look odd, but effective. Giants have knotted it up. 10 seconds left in the first quarter at 7. Back to Sam, Bill, and Jay.
Seems as if Tiki Barber breaks a big one every week, Bill. Crowd making a lot of noise as the Eagles come out on 2nd down with 2 tight ends. Off the play fake, the roll, and the quick dump off to the fullback. Josh Perry, his first reception in the NFL. He dropped 2 passes last week. He holds on here. And Perry gets up to the 18-yard line for a 1st down.
Now that's the old bootleg play. They fake the handoff, and it appears that it's a running play. It's all going to the left, and the whole defense rushes over there, and then you peel the left tight end and you bring him across the grain, and the fullback goes the other way as well. So you have the fullback underneath, and then the tight end up top. McNabb found the fullback.
Hands to Westbrook. Big crowd at the corner. Gets up to about the 23, picked up about 5 on the play. Ebenezer Ekubon making the tackle for Cleveland.
Look at the difference here. Cleveland, 7.0 a play.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah, heck yeah, it's good. You wouldn't mind that at all. But when you get those 2 big bombs by Philadelphia.
Now the Eagles moving offensively with Westbrook and Perry in the backfield. 2nd down, flags fly. False start against the Eagles.
I think Trey Thomas moved a little bit.
False start. Number 77, offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
The man right next to Trey Thomas. Big artist Hicks.
When you get that much wiggle or wobble in there, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell. And Hicks and Trey Thomas together side by side, there's an awful lot of wiggle there to wobble.
2 tight ends in. Ryan Westbrook in the backfield. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. McNabb has started the game 6 for 6. He waits. He finally throws, connects with Chad Lewis. 1st down, Eagles at the 34. And what a start for Donovan McNabb. He's completed his first 7 passes of the game.
Well, you can't allow these Eagle receivers, L.J. Smith, Chad Lewis, T.O., Todd Pinkston, that much time downfield. So to take that away, you've got to get to him. Look at the sack clock, and look how much time McNabb has to sit in the pocket and be comfortable. You have got to get on top of the quarterback as a rusher within 3 seconds.
On 1st down, Westbrook. And the Browns are there. Andre Davis and Warwick Holdman combined to drop Brian Westbrook for a loss of a couple at the 32-yard line.
And to contribute to it, like why that's working, why McNabb has so much time, I think I've seen it for the better part of this year when I look at the Eagles. That offensive line's been together, and they're playing exceptionally well. And they all know what each other's doing. McNabb knows their strengths and weaknesses, where they're going to be, and he knows how to scramble off of each of them to buy time. And when he does scramble this year, he scrambles to throw.
Westbrook gets back up to the 35-yard line where he is stopped. Let's find out what's going on down to the sideline. Jay Glazer, what do you got?
Well, you guys have been pumping up Donovan McNabb and his accuracy. This offseason, McNabb decided to go use a trainer who works with baseball pitchers, guys like Kurt Schilling, to stretch out his rotator cuff. He said he's really seen a difference, not on his deep ball, but in making some other throws. Also, Donovan does some weird things in the offseason. He actually works out with the dog toys. Calm down, Billy. Dog toys. He takes those little balls with the little nubs on them, and he throws them against the wall to try and work on his eye-hand coordination. Back up to you guys.
Crowd loud. Eagles with 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 9. The play fake by McNabb. Again, plenty of time to Westbrook. Short of the first down. Eagles with a good stop. Dalen McCutcheon, the cornerback, with a good tackle on Brian Westbrook. So we'll have the first punt of the game as the Browns come up with a good stop.
You know, Terry Bradshaw asked me during the pregame show, he said, you know, how can this offense get better? And there's a lot of things that Donovan doesn't see sometimes, and it wears on him. As good as he's been playing, and Jay is right, he's a much more accurate passer this year, and I guess that's what contributed to the stretching and the dog bones. But he had Freddie Mitchell open on that play, and he didn't see him.
Dirk Johnson's punt bounces down on the 26 and goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. The Philadelphia Eagles, one of 3 undefeated teams in the NFL, and little things mean a lot, Bill. They do a lot of little things.
Well, watch. When you down the ball, look at all the guys running through the end zone. They could have quit, but then they encourage each other, right? And this team really enjoys each other. And then when anything goes wrong, they're aware. They're well-drilled. They execute great, and it's hustle, too. This team hustles each and everybody. And when you have that kind of chemistry, Sam, on your team, it's fun, and you want to compete, and you're aware of all the little things, and you can't wait to take care of all the little things because you're looking to find your place amongst your teammates.
I think that next step after being to 3 consecutive NFC Championship games. The Browns on first down. Steve Hyden, the tight end, up to the 35-yard line.
You know, 2 guys that have jumped out to me when you look at this Cleveland Brown team have been their tight ends.
Hyden and Shea.
Oh, yeah. Steve Hyden, 82, and Aaron Shea, 83. They were just kind of guys. And then you bring Kellen Winslow into the mix, and Kellen, they're going to build the offense around him. And he's going to be that star tight end that can stretch the seam, get downfield, block, and use his speed. But these 2 guys, in the absence of Kellen Winslow, have been outstanding.
Eagles lead at the end of the first quarter. They've led in the 21 consecutive quarters this season. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Jay Glazer in Cleveland, where the Philadelphia Eagles lead the Browns 14-7. Remarkable phenomenon. At the end of every quarter they played this season, the Eagles have had the lead.
It is a remarkable phenomenon, and it caused teams to kind of open up their offense a little bit, and it's allowed the defense of the Eagles to tee off on the quarterback.
Lee Suggs gets a couple of yards on the play. First quarter, rushing. The Browns have done what you said, Bill. They have stuck with the running game, done a good job with it. Passing, look at that 163 yards for Philadelphia.
You can see the difference amongst where they're getting the yards. Opposite ends of the spectrum for both teams. But for Cleveland, they have to stay with controlling the clock and pounding the Eagles and scoring at the end of the drive.
Brisbane Jackson and Dennis Northcutt for wide receivers for Cleveland. Lee Suggs cuts it back nicely, slips a tackle, and turns it into a great gain down to the 46 of Philadelphia before Brian Dawkins made the stop. Another first down for the Browns. 15-yard pickup for Suggs.
Philly's got to stop this problem, or else this is going to be something that gets them all year. No matter whether they win or not, at some point in time, you're going to run across a team that can score with you. And until they fix this running problem, they're giving up Heck, they've got to be close to 10 yards of carry given up right now.
About.
It seems like every time they rush the ball, they're picking up a first down.
Hugh Douglas in at defensive end, replacing Javon Purse for the Eagles. Terrell Smith shifts. The play fake. Garcia off the deep drop. Finds the tight end, Steve Hayden. He dives for a first down, and he's got it. Good effort by the tight end, Steve Hayden.
You know, the one
Wayne
thing
with the stop on Hayden. Go ahead, Bill.
The one thing about Jeff Garcia is when he does bootleg and get out of the pocket, these rolls. See, most quarterbacks only throw this side of the field. Garcia can throw the whole entire field. He's got great peripheral vision when he gets out on the move and can see everything. Most quarterbacks, when they roll one way, they're only throwing to that half of the field. That time he threw back across to the other side.
Garcia 5 for 6. 39 yards, rolls, looking, and throwing, and he completes it to Dennis Northcutt. Down at the 25-yard line, another Browns first down. Lito Shepherd made the stop.
Rolls, rolls, rolls. And that's not in Royce either. That's in Jeff Garcia. And Jeff Garcia, for whatever reason, he's not a pocket passer. And early on, that's primarily what Cleveland tried to make him. But his success in San Francisco was outside the pocket. And his success as a quarterback comes outside the pocket. He has a higher percentage of completion throughout his career outside the pocket on rolls than he does in the pocket.
Two tight ends in, blitz coming, it's picked up. William Green cuts it outside. Flag on the play. Green inside the 15, pulled out of bounds at the 13. But we'll check on the flag. Holding
Number
against the
63,
Browns.
offense. The 10-yard penalty remains. First down.
It's on Kelvin Garman, negates a good run. The grab on Trotter, and he didn't let go of the jersey, and finally the umpire threw the flag. You're shaking your head. 5 defensive backs in for the Eagles. As the Browns set up on first down and 20. Lee Suggs fights his way down to the 31-yard line.
Jeff Garcia, when you look at him, you think of him in San Francisco and even in Cleveland in the last couple of weeks. His big plays come from outside. So when you have a guy that can throw the ball on the run with the accuracy he throws the ball on the run with, you use it. And think back to San Francisco. You think about all the times he was on the move. Well, when you got a guy that's good at that, you put that into your system. And that's what the Browns have done with him in the last few weeks, have developed the roles in their system.
With 3 wide receivers in, the ball was tipped off the hands of one receiver, Dennis Northcutt, and just missed by Aaron Shea, the tight end. As he dove for it, it'll bring up a 3rd and long. Browns have to get to the 15-yard line of the Eagles. Aaron Shea, 5th-year man out of Michigan. He and Steve Hayden have done a good job, as Bill mentioned right at the top. Kellen Winslow was big in the offensive plan. 3rd down, red zone. He was going to be a key man in the Browns offense. Went down with the injury and done for the season. 3 wide receivers in. Garcia complete to Antonio Bryant, and he's down to the 20-yard line. His first catch as a member of the Cleveland Browns. He caught 8 passes for over 100 yards opening day as a member of the Dallas Cowboys in Minnesota. We did that game, had a terrific game, but fell out of favor in Dallas with a very talented wide receiver.
Well, they're only going to use him a handful of plays here. Well, maybe some more now that the injury has occurred to Andre King, but he just got here. And Butch has probably about 15 plays in for him, maybe. And it's plays like that. If they get some matchups on him, he has some great athletic ability with speed and as a jumper.
Bill Dawson, 38-yarder. It's good. He is 14 for 14 this season. He has hit 24 in a row, a Cleveland Browns franchise record. Dawson, perfect from 38. That cuts into the Eagles' lead at 14-10. You're watching Fox Sports, broadcasting in the world's finest high-definition standard. Good ball game here in Cleveland. Bill Dawson's field goal, cutting into the Eagles' lead. J.R. Reed is deep. Good hang time. Reed from the 7. Finds an opening. And the Eagles able to swarm. Chris Crocker diving in for the tackle, takes him down at the 30-yard line. What do you think he's thinking about?
I think this is a huge series for the Eagles, and I don't know if they know it or not. They need to score again because you can't put that defense out there with the way they're giving up the yards.
Wilma and Sam McNabb, Donovan's parents, celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary, watching their son play today. Wilma, of course, star of the family. She makes everyone shut up when the Campbell Soup commercial comes on, like they haven't seen it 1,000 times. Donovan McNabb, 8 for 8, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns as the Eagles start from the 29. Off the play fake. McNabb up top for Todd Kingston, and it's brought down by Dalen McCutcheon. Good one-on-one coverage. Let's check out what's happening with Atlanta, Kansas City. JB?
Hey, Sam, take a look at Kansas City running back. No, not Priest Holmes, Ed. No, not Larry Johnson. But Derek Blaylock, 7 yards to pay dirt. Kansas City with 81 yards on the ground against the league's #1 rush defense and up 14-3. That in the first. Back to Sam Rosen.
Kansas City, tough start, 1-4. Atlanta's 5-1, but struggling thus far. 2nd and 10. First incompletion thrown by Donovan McNabb in the game. He sets, he has time, went short too high. Wanted to go to Reno Mahe out of the backfield, but it was too high.
And I go back and say I think this is a critical series for the Eagles. The way the defense has given up those yards on the ground, probably averaging around 9 yards a carry, the Browns are. I mean, just gashing the defense. I think the Philadelphia Eagles need to score here. I think this 3rd down is huge. I think they need to pick up a 1st down. They need to score on this drive. Or if they don't, they're putting that defense right back out on the field with pretty good field position if they have to punt from here.
3 wide receivers in for the Eagles. McNabb goes out of the shotgun. Owens in motion. McNabb steps up, throws, and it's caught by Greg Lewis for a 1st down in Browns territory at the 47-yard line. Greg Lewis, who has great speed and great hands, went up and made an excellent catch for the 1st down.
Well, first things first, look at the time in the pocket. Donovan McNabb has all day. And look at the passing lane in front of him. And a perfect throw. We talked about the accuracy, the report by Jay Glazer. He hits Greg Lewis in stride, in between with a defender underneath him and one over the top, and puts that ball perfect.
Here come the Eagles again. 24-yard pickup. The play fake. McNabb pressured, rolls, looking downfield. Throws short to Chad Lewis, his 4th catch of the game, and he's out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Picked up 2 on the play.
And look at Donovan McNabb, and tell me he's not different. Watch him. 2 years ago, he would have taken this ball, pulled it down, and been gone. But now he stays. He scrambles to throw. And I think it's because he has a lot more faith and confidence in his wide receivers and all his receivers. His tight ends with Chad Lewis and with L.J. Smith and with Bryant Westbrook. I think he knows, hey, they're the playmakers. Just let me buy them some time to get open. I'll get them the ball.
Draw play to Westbrook, and he's brought down. No gain on the play.
And a flag.
Late flag. The middle linebacker, Andre Davis, made a good play.
Yeah, I think somebody may piled on there later. Face mask, there's some extracurricular activity, Sam, after the stop.
Isn't there always?
Oh, yeah, but, you got to get it down when there's a pile going. You can't do it when you're still standing up and pushing each other around.
What a great day on Fox. Doubleheader game follows this one. Most of you will see Dallas and Green Bay, and then the World Series.
Number 54, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Tom White, our referee today.
Face mask.
Incidental.
Puts the ball on the 40-yard line. Three wide receivers as Freddie Mitchell comes in.
See, a 5-yard face
3.
mask is, I really didn't mean to get a face mask. I just kind of tugged it for a second. You know?
Accidental grab.
Yeah.
Chris Crocker, who got a game ball for his play as a nickel defensive back last week, is in for the Browns. McNabb going deep. He's got it again. Touchdown! Terrell Owens does it again. Third touchdown pass for McNabb. Second touchdown grab for Owens. And you were right, Bill.
Well, flags. They're looking flags.
Well, that'll be on T.O. probably for taunting, I would think.
Yeah. Well, when you gamble with T.O. and go man-to-man coverage, and that's what the Browns have been doing. They've been gambling a little bit. Anthony Henry has played T.O. well before. When he was against San Francisco last year against the Browns, he kept him out of the end zone. And so they felt comfortable going in there, maybe with a man.
Number 81 in Philadelphia. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
No.
Again, after the
Not T.O.
touchdown pass.
Come on.
Does that surprise you?
No, not at all. I think they're ganging up on him, Sam. It's a crime what they're doing. I don't know. They just pick on him. So leave the man alone, Sam.
Oh, he loves the attention.
No, you think?
David Akers. It's through. Donovan McNabb now has 89 touchdown passes. That's 89 touchdown receptions for Terrell Owens.
There's the good T.O. And
watch this.
That's the bad T.O.
Oh. He's a beauty.
Back in Cleveland here, Jay Glazer, and we just saw Terrell Owens get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct for tearing down a side. But when he came to the sideline, guys, Andy Reid stopped him, made him turn around, and showed him that he was going to get a penalty for that. You know, there's more signs down here about Terrell Owens than there probably is about the Cleveland Browns. Back to you guys.
You're right about that. Sets the Eagles back to the 15 where they'll kick off.
And he knows where each and every one of those signs are, too,
right.
Obviously.
2 touchdown receptions today, giving him 89 for his career. He is alone in 6th place all time. James Jackson on the return, his first kickoff return of the season. And the ball popped loose up at the 44-yard line. Uh-oh.
See, that's where the business happens. The business is going on right now.
A lot of business going on.
The proverbial business.
Ike Reese is involved. He's the leader of the coverage units.
Somebody's down there giving the business right now. White ball.
White ball belongs to the Eagles. They've recovered. Second turnover of the game. Andre King went out with the ankle injury. James Jackson with his first kickoff return of the season.
Watch 46 get the strip. Quentin Mitchell. Nickel. I'm sorry.
Roderick Hood on the recovery. And the pile up. James Jackson wanted to look at the replay. This is the 15th time this
Robin
season.
Hood.
Robin Hood?
Yeah, it's Robin Hood.
15th time the Eagles are starting a drive in opponent's territory, most in the NFL.
He has a band of merry men on the coverage units.
Play fake. McNabb with time. Finds his fullback, Josh Perry. Tripped up. Last week he dropped 2. This week he's caught 2. His first 2 touches in the NFL. 14-yard pickup. T.O., where's my helmet?
I'll be right back.
I have to tell you, you talk to Donovan McNabb, you talk to the players, you talk to the coaches. They've really liked having him around. He and McNabb get along very well.
Hey, it's not good for some people. You know, it's all about personalities. But this bunch of guys in the Philadelphia Eagles and their coaching staff, they said they are having a blast each and every day of practice.
McNabb waits, now he runs and drops it off. The Dorsey Levens Levens inside the 20 is down at the 19-yard line. Andre Davis made the stop, and the Eagles pushing for more. They have averaged better than 27 points per game this season. They have 21 today and looking to add more. 12-yard pickup on the last play. Ryan Westbrook back in. First down, Eagles. Just short of the 18-yard line. Westbrook splits out wide left. 3 wide receivers in. Empty backfield.
You got it. Empty.
Westbrook motions, takes the handoff. Cuts up and actually fell over his own man, L.J. Smith. Picked up a couple of yards. Down to the 16. There's a flag on the play.
Leg down.
This Eagles offense is pretty good, Bill.
Oh, come on, Sam. You're going out on a limb now.
Illegal formation. Number 72. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
They got the tackle again on the illegal formation. But this is our first chance to see them live, and it's very impressive.
They've been good for 3 years. You know, they've been able to do so many things, and Andy Reid has an unbelievable mind. This West Coast offense is so completely different than any other of the teams that run the West Coast offense. Andy finds ways to make players play. It doesn't matter. He's lost guys for 4 years, and he just plugs another one in.
Westbrook carries down to the 21-yard line. Donovan McNabb is 13 for 15, 255 yards and 3 touchdowns.
But Andy used to really have to work to move the football the last couple of years, and primarily because the receivers really, there was no threat. There was no deep threat. You could play the receivers man-to-man all the time, and they couldn't shake loose. And now that they've got that big wide receiver threat, you have to roll coverage to him. He beats double teams, and it gives single coverage on the other side that people forget about.
Off the play fake, McNabb fires, tipped, intercepted by Andre Davis, the middle linebacker. Took it away from the tight end, L.J. Smith.
And a flag. Personal foul.
It's against the Eagles. The Browns with their first takeaway of the game, and a big one with the Eagles driving. The Browns needed something big on defense, and they got it.
And they got 15 more yards off this, too. What you're going to see here is McNabb finds the tight end. And Sean Thompson just jumps in front of the tight end. I at first thought it went off the hands of L.J. Smith, but that wasn't the case. Sean Thompson just jumped in front of it, and he's the one that got his hands on it, tipped the ball up, and Andre Davis with the interception. Plus an extra 15 yards.
Third interception thrown by Donovan McNabb this season. Andre Davis with the pick. This is the Eagles' 5th turnover of the season. Their first 4 have not cost them any points. The Browns with 12 turnovers, and they have been costly. William Green, Terrell Smith in the backfield. Garcia puts it up deep. He's got Northcutt. He's got the catch. Down at the 27-yard line as he beat Lito Shepherd on the play. Northcutt getting a chance to start.
Northcutt has a little quicks to him. Watch him right off the start. He's going to get a little shake there, and right there he gets by Lito Shepherd. When you're playing that up coverage and press coverage, you've got to get a piece of that defender, of the receiver. If the defender doesn't get a piece of you, Sam, they'll pull a real quick guy like that. He'll put a shake on you and be gone.
2 tight ends in as William Green carries, trying to cut it back in, looking for the hole to open up. Gets it down to the 21-yard line. The previous completion to Dennis Northcutt was for 42 yards, and Jeff Garcia is now 8 for 10 for 104 yards. So both quarterbacks have been highly accurate.
You know, the one thing that people talk about when you talk about this two-headed running back attack is Suggs and Green, is that Suggs really has natural patience to his run. And Green is learning his patience. He's learning how to see the hole and wait for it to open. I thought there was a great example of it.
Green 6 carries, 50 yards. Steve Hyden in motion. Lee Suggs carries. Inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line, and very close to the first down. They're riding 2 big horses, and today both of them are running well.
Well, normally when you have, you know, two backs, you really don't have one. But if you go back and think about Mack and Biner, 1985, both those backs having over 1,000 yards, that's almost impossible to do nowadays. The last pair to do it was 1985, and in 1985 there were some good defenses around. I played against them.
Yeah. How tough were they?
Absolutely. Well, you never knew what you were going to get. One could take it outside with power and speed, and the other could come downhill at you. And when they're both in the backfield as a defense, you didn't know what you were going to get. These two guys right here, right now, they're sharing the bulk of the load. But I think Suggs may eventually end up being the guy. He has a little bit better vision, a little bit more of a burst to take the big plays. But they're both effective backs, and you're getting a lot out of them right now. And it doesn't affect the quarterback. It doesn't affect the line. It doesn't affect the fullback. And the fullback will always look back and tell the guys, you follow me. I will take you to the hole.
3rd and inches here with Smith and Suggs in the backfield, but Garcia keeps and has a first down short of the 15-yard line.
Look at this here. That's amazing right here. 8 yards a crack. Cleveland is putting on Philadelphia in the running game.
Well, Suggs,
they came into the game, Sam, with the worst average per carry given up to opponents yet, and they haven't had teams stick with the run because they've been behind, so they've been forced to pass. Cleveland clearly is going to stick with the run, and if they score here, they're going to keep this thing tight, and this running game that Cleveland has is going to wear on them.
Garcia shifts. First he shifted Terrell Smith, then he shifted Steve Hyden, the tight end, and then he called timeout. Their second timeout of the first half. So the Eagles have a 21-10 lead, but their defensive line has been run against pretty well. You see, they have a lot of depth this season. A couple of men out today. Grasmanis is inactive, and Jerome McDougal did not make the trip, had the irregular heartbeat earlier in the week, but should be okay.
You got a freak.
Week.
You got a truck driver. You have a lunatic, right? Darvin Walker, he's got a calf problem. He hurt last week during practice. I mean, you got a bunch of guys, and they've all played. And Hollis Thomas, the Hamburglar himself, I'll never forget the story. They said Ray Rhodes signed him for a couple hamburgers.
Well,
they call him the Hamburglar. Look at it. It looks like a marsupial.
He's there. He tries to plug it up. Browns have rushed for 106 yards in the game. First down at the Eagles' 16. Well, Smith motions. Garcia being blitzed. Incomplete. Blitz coming from the outside from Dhani Jones. Flag on the play. Did Nate Wayne get a piece of him? Roughing the passer on Philadelphia.
Boy, these penalties are costing Philly some yards now. On the interception, before that on the kickoff with the short field with T.O., and now another personal foul here and a first down. Nate Wayne is up top up here.
That's
Dhani Jones. Nate Wayne is underneath.
And Dhani Jones spun around, threw him down. So the personal foul gives the Browns a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Eagles defense has been good in the red zone this season. Lee Suggs in the backfield. 2 tight ends. And there's movement on the line.
They're coming out with all these different formations and trying to confuse Philadelphia's defense, but actually they're confusing themselves. Two guys
Number
moving.
82, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains, first down.
Steve Hyden, one of the tight ends, moved on the play.
Philadelphia has been pretty good in the red zone.
Yes.
This year, thus far this year.
Lee Suggs, the lone back. Brisbane Jackson motion. Here's Suggs cutting it back. There's a big hole. He is in. Touchdown. Superb blocking up front. Sealed it off. And Lee Suggs carries it home. 13-yard touchdown run for Lee Suggs. His second touchdown run of the season.
That's the outside zone play, and you always look for the cutback on the outside zone play. Tucker did an outstanding job up front. Ryan Tucker getting the push, and on the backside tight end, Steve Hyden's block is what sprung it open on the backside.
The Browns, who had trouble scoring in first halves up until last week, when they put up 21, they put up 17 in the first half this week. Lee Suggs with a 13-yard touchdown run has closed the Philadelphia lead to 4.
There's Hyden on the backside. He's the tight end. Look at the job he's going to do. Get down here, and right here, you watch him see that seal. He seals that thing off and springs it open. Look at Tucker getting down. Look at this push. Tucker gets the walling that off. That's beautiful. And then there's the seam inside. Outstanding job on the backside. That's the outside zone play, and they get the defense going one way, and they kind of seal them off. And you're looking for the cutback all the way. Suggs, beautiful job. Great vision reading his blocks.
Running game working for the Cleveland Browns. Green with a touchdown run. Suggs with a touchdown run. And the Eagles' lead is 21-17. And they are riding both horses today, and both horses are running well.
Well, and they're running the ball, Sam. That's right. The horses are trotting now. Or galloping, I should say. And they're galloping at will, any place they want to go.
Miami ahead of St. Louis, 14-7. That's a surprise. Indianapolis at halftime leading Jacksonville. Minnesota leading Tennessee late in the second quarter. Lee Suggs, 7 carries, 65 yards. William Green, 6 carries, 50 yards. So Suggs is over 9 yards per carry. Green is over 8 yards per carry.
Well, they've got to shore up their defense. The Eagles have to shore up their defenses. Coming into the game, it was a hunch. I was concerned about, you look at it, and all the big numbers they're putting up. It's the one thing you didn't really notice. Yards per carry against the defense.
J.R. Reed on the return with good speed, but he gets tripped up. Eric Westmoreland tripped him up. Eagles will start across the 35-yard line. Today, Donovan McNabb throwing to Chad Lewis. Answered by William Green's touchdown run. Then it was McNabb going up top to T.O. And the Eagles had the 14-7 lead. T.O. again. That made it 21-10. And then Lee Suggs with a beautiful cutback. The Eagles passing, the Browns running. Eagles start from the 35. Chad Lewis chipped it. McNabb being pressured, throws it out of bounds. McNabb was taken down after he released.
You know what?
Sean Thompson was the man that took him down.
When I look at these Cleveland Browns, Sam, I see the 1985 team. I really do. Except for the mobile quarterback part. Bernie wasn't a big-time scrambler, but I see them. I see a team that really dominates in the running game, and a team that defensively has some firepower to them. I think they could probably use today a little Hanford, Dog Dixon, and Frank Minifield out there.
Eagles come out with 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left. Owens motions. Quick outside. Bob Kingston with a 6-yard gain, maybe 7. Now they'll spot it at the 36, give him 6 on the play, and bring up a 3rd down. The most points scored against the Eagles. The Eagles came into the game giving up the fewest points in the NFL, just over 12 points per game. They've given up 17 in the first half, and Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, has to be concerned. Alvin McKinley, number 97, in at defensive tackle for the Browns. 3rd and 4. McNabb. Freddie Mitchell.
I don't think he got it.
It's very close. It depends on the spot. And I think you're right. I think he may be inches short. Good tackle by Anthony Henry on Freddie Mitchell. Coming into today's game, Freddie Mitchell had caught 7 passes, and all of them had been for a first down. He was looking for one there, and it looks like he comes up inches short. We've reached the 2-minute warning in a heck of a game. The Eagles leading the Browns 21-17. Andy Reid making a decision here as the spot comes up about half a yard short of the first down marker. It's at the Eagles 44.5. Had a discussion with referee Tom White, and it looks like the Eagles will go for it. They keep the offense on. Westbrook and Perry in the backfield. Big fullback. What do you think of this call?
Well, you know, this is an area where you may want to come out there and try to hold your water, and McDonovan get him with the hard count and get a freebie.
Westbrook is out wide left. Quarterback sneak.
He didn't get it.
McNabb did not
He
get
did
it.
not get it.
Stopped him. Wow. What an effort up front by the defensive line led by Ebenezer Ekubon.
Orpheus Roy was in there with a huge push. Huge push over Hank Fraley. Look at these guys right in here. That's Orpheus Roy. They get under Hank Fraley, and then Andre Davis jumps over the top of them.
And Ekubon was pulling him back from the ground. So this could hurt the Eagles. Plenty of time for the Browns.
I thought that's the area of the field where you go out there and you just say, you know, hey, you line up, you hold your water, you get them a couple hard counts, you let the clock wind down, and then send your punt team out there. I was surprised, especially when the offensive line doesn't get that much practice pounding the football. All their touchdowns have been in the air, Sam. It's not like they're down on the goal line rooting people out.
Let's see what the Browns do. They motion Suggs. Garcia throws to Suggs, and he dropped it. Pass thrown knee high. Suggs did not hold on. Second down. Browns with a chance to grab the lead.
You have to respect these numbers right here. When you're inside the 50, here's the scoring rate. Almost 60% touchdown or a field goal. Okay? And you have to respect those numbers. Those numbers are there for a reason. And obviously, when you have to go 90 yards, the chances of success very slim. But I don't know if you gamble that. I don't agree with that call because your offensive line hasn't been in those circumstances enough times.
It's only the third drive that has started in Eagles territory this season. Put out to Aaron Shea, the tight end.
I like
with a
guys.
good push. Right down to the 37-yard line, his third catch of the game.
I like Aaron Shea and Steve Hyden. They're blue-collar, tough guys that have a role in how they do things. And Shea's been a guy that's been injured over the last couple of years. You know, he just hasn't really come into his shoulder problems, and he just hasn't been able to be himself. This year, he's been healthy, and of course, they come in and they get a Kellen Winslow, and you're thinking, heck, I just hope I can get on the field and do some things. But and Kellen's departure with the injury, and Shea and Hyden have really done a heck of a job manning that position with two of them together and shifting the motion into all different spots on the field.
3 wide receivers in. The toss to Suggs. Led around by Verba. Goes down for a first down inside the 35 to the 34. Clock running with 35 seconds. Browns have only 1 time remaining. Excuse me. Time on the clock is 1:25. Coach Davis has checked the timeout situation. 3 wide receivers. Antonio Bryant is in. Draw play to Suggs. Eagles have him. Short pickup on the play. On first down. Good job by the Eagles, led by Corey Simon on the tackle of Lee Suggs.
Take a look at the tight ends. Take a look at their production. 5 of 5. That's Shea and Hyden. These two guys right here have contributed to that. And those are some huge numbers. 5 for 5 with those two guys. That's big-time stuff. Somehow they're going to work in there. It doesn't matter. They hit the seam. They'll hit the flat. They're involved in blocking. They're all over the field, these two guys. An integral part of this offense is the tight end position.
Terry Robisky, the offensive coordinator, told us they won't stretch the field, but they'll find the openings.
Oh, they're good.
And they're reliable with good hands.
Smart players, he called them, in finding the zone.
Don't forget, tonight, Game 2 of the World Series, 7:30 Eastern Time, the pregame show. And then from Fenway Park, Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Al Leiter, Jeannie Velasco, Kevin Kennedy, bring it to you. Kurt Schilling for the Red Sox, Matt Morris for the Cardinals. Stay with Fox. We've got a second game NFL doubleheader game following this one. On second down, 3 wide receivers for the Browns. Garcia throwing deep for Northcutt, overthrown.
The ball was overthrown, and I got to tell you that he had some pressure in his face, too. Darwin Walker came in there and was hitting him as he released that ball, and it was just too much on the ball. He had Northcutt open.
Northcutt has got good speed, had a good season last year with 62 receptions, but then went free agent. Didn't get the offers that he was looking for, re-signed with the Browns. Phil Dawson is ready to come on if the Browns go field goal.
Watch Antonio.
Here comes the blitz. They stop the play.
Antonio Bryan at the top of your screen. I think they have a false start here, Sam.
There's an all-out blitz coming.
Well, they might have got a little jumpy in there then.
False start. Number 19, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains, 3rd down.
That's the wide receiver Frisman Jackson, playing his first game this season, just up from the practice squad with the injury to Andre Davis. Suggs and Smith in the backfield. Ball spotted at the Eagles 38. Browns have to get to the 26 for a first down. Garcia steps up, starts to run, throws low, incomplete. Intended for Lee Suggs. And here comes 4th down. And this would be out of the range of Dawson, so the punting unit comes on. With 54 seconds to go in the first half, the Eagles have all their timeouts remaining. First punt of the game for Derek Frost. Reno Mahe is deep for Philadelphia, standing at his own 10. Up in the air, good hang time, fair catch by Mahe at the 9-yard line.
Oh, that was a heck of a punt. Heck of a punt.
28 yards, no return. 47 seconds remaining in the first half. The Eagles, who led 21-10, only to have the Browns come back with a strong running game. The guys are standing by with a Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy bring you the scores and highlights and their analysis, plus the Fox Sports ticker with all the up-to-date information. Eagles come out with 3 wide receivers. Start from the 9-yard line. The dog pound letting them know. McNabb fakes, goes draw play to Westbrook, gets a yard. Good tackle by Kennard Lang.
Well, Kennard Lang hustles. I'll tell you, there's one thing he really jumps at. Kennard Lang plays hard no matter where he's at. Anytime he's on the field with any team he's with, you're going to get some motor out of this guy.
Eagles letting the clock run down. They'll be satisfied to let time run out. Browns can't stop it. They're out of timeouts. And the Eagles will go to the locker room with the lead at halftime. Westbrook cuts it back. And he's brought down by Anthony Henry. And that's it. So the Eagles lead at halftime. They've played 22 quarters this season, and they've had the lead at the end of every quarter. The Browns are pressing them with the running attack, but the Eagles' passing game has been outstanding. 21-17 at that. Way to go, Cleveland Browns, with their running game. That's kept them in the game. Terrific job in the first half.
Nicely done as well. 123 yards rushing in the first half. The Eagles defense struggling in that capacity, no question about it. And the Browns have been able to do it in a multitude of ways. They've gotten to the perimeter outside, Suggs. You've also seen William Green gashing them. He's been pounding them in the middle. They've run the ball effectively left, right, and up the middle. And as long as you can run the football in the NFL, you can do a lot of things off of it. And I expect to see in the second half, especially with Trotter in the middle, they're going to try to tighten down that run defense. I mean, when you go in at halftime, you give up 123 on the ground, Sam. You're going to come out and you're going to try to stop the run. Now, that's going to be the emphasis in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room. I imagine in the Cleveland Browns locker room, they're going to try to find an option off the play action, off the run game, and get the ball behind Jeremiah Trotter this half.
All right, let's find out what the Browns are thinking. Moments ago, our Jay Glazer caught up with Browns head coach Butch Davis.
All right, thanks, guys. Butch, you're down 4 points at halftime, but your ground game has been spectacular. What have you seen of them that you've been able to gas them to the tune of 7 yards a carry?
Well, I think certainly some of the big plays that we had in the passing game last week created a lot of respect for the opportunities to create big plays. It's given us a chance to run the game. Our offensive line's doing a good job picking up a lot of the stunts and blitzes, and the runners are running well.
Thanks, Butch. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Jay. The Browns will receive the kickoff to start the second half. Andy Reid talking with us last night about wanting better second halves from his team.
Well, he's
More
going to need one now. He's going to need one now if he wants to stay in this, because this is a dogfight right here in the dog pound. And this offensive line of Cleveland is one of a throwback Cleveland Browns team. Look at the guy's arms, the bare arms, the ink, the nastiness about them. Strength coach Buddy Morris right beside him. Look at him right here. There's Buddy Morris. That's their strength coach. He's all inked up as well. And this is about that bunch of guys. This is like a Doug Deacon type of game. And the mentality that these guys have on that offensive line, you've got to love it.
Set for the kickoff to start the second half.
They love their iron, as in pumping iron. They love their Harleys. These boys don't mind swill a few brews down either.
David Akers kicking off, popped short, and Chad Buster, the third tight end, takes it, is spun around, and is down at the 25-yard line. So they did not kick it deep. And Mustard came up with it. Fantasy players, here are the numbers. First half, look at McNabb, passing for 264 yards, 3 touchdowns. Garcia passed for 111, was intercepted once. Lee Suggs rushed for 69. William Green for 50. Terrell Owens, 3 catches, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chad Lewis with a touchdown reception. Brown start at the 26. Brisman Jackson and Dennis Northcutt, the wideouts. Terrell Smith and William Green in the backfield. Heighten, the tight end. Garcia short drop, knocked down. Nathan Wayne got up in the air, as did Derek Burgess, and knocked it down.
Here's Wayne, and watch him jump up in there in the middle here. And now watch, here's a little quick pass, and he gets his hand up right in the middle of the passing lane.
Browns come out with a pass to start. Brisman Jackson in motion. Green stumbled a little bit and takes it up to the 29, picks up 3. They bring up a 3rd and 7. Hugh Douglas made the tackle for the Eagles. Darwin Walker looked like he was shaken up a little bit on the play. Walker stays. And 3rd and long. 5 defensive backs in for the Eagles. 3 wide receivers with Antonio Bryant on for Cleveland. Eagles show blitz. Here it comes. Dawkins almost got him. Garcia in trouble. Dawkins has it down. Ball's loose. And the scramble on. Jeff Fain, the center, recovered the fumble. Ryan Dawkins missed him the first time, but got him the second time.
Well, I got to tell you, Sam, you know, Jeff Garcia, they come with a blitz here first. And here comes Dawkins. He's up in there. And they bring the linebacker as well. But he's looking for Antonio Bryant. And he scrambles out of there. There's the strip of the football. And that's just staying after the hunt, as far as Dawkins is concerned. That's just staying after the hunted. And Antonio Bryant was downfield, and he had defensive backs grabbing him downfield. It just went unnoticed by the officials. Jeff Garcia was looking for him, but couldn't throw the ball.
Good punt by Derek Frost. Reno Mahe is swarmed under at the 15, but several flags on the play. 55-yard punt for Derek Frost. Just a 2-yard return by Reno Mahe, and we'll check out the flags. John Harbaugh, the special teams coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Wondering about the call.
Hat down, you know what that means. That means the player was out of bounds. Usually the gunner. When the gunner is running, they get out on the sidelines.
On the play. He's on the Cleveland player, and there's no foul for what he did. Timeout for TV.
All right.
Did you ask for that timeout, Sam?
No.
Timeout for TV? Who's calling for that?
I guess the TV guys. Fox Television broadcasting in the highest standard of high definition.
Is that Elvis in high definition? What is
He's a week early.
What is it?
The Eagles set back to the 8-yard line, so a penalty was assessed by Tom White, and we'll try to get it for you while we're away. The Eagles are set back to the 8-yard line, which is where they start from, with Dorsey Levens in the backfield and 2 tight ends. Terrell Owens on the sideline. Freddie Mitchell and Todd Pinkston, the wide receivers. Lewis in motion. The play fake. McNabb rolling and looking short to L.J. Smith. Wrestled down around the neck at the 12-yard line. His first catch of the game, Warwick Holdman took him down. Lions are trying to score against the Giants, right, JB?
Hey, Sam, indeed. They're showing some tenacity, not giving up. The rookie out of Virginia Tech, Kevin Jones, takes it over. His first career touchdown. Jones had 3 carries for 44 yards on that drive, and the Lions are on top of the Giants, 14-10. Back to Sam, Bill, and Jay.
Jones and Williams back in the lineup. Ryan Westbrook is in. Terrell Owens in. McNabb being pressured, throws wide. Pass intended for Terrell Owens, and he gets up, and here's a mouthful from Andre Davis, the middle linebacker. First game that Terrell Owens has ever played in Cleveland. He's caught 3 passes in the game, 2 for touchdowns.
And the dog pound is not an area where you want to do the barking.
That's right.
You know? If you come into Cleveland Browns Stadium here, you just keep your mouth shut and go about your business, because you start barking, there'll be a lot growling at you.
3 wide receivers in for the Eagles on 3rd down. Have to get to the 18 for a first. The toss on the end around. McNabb blocked for Greg Lewis. Lewis tripped up to 14. Good tackle by Chris Crocker. Crocker plays nickel back. Eventually, he may be the starter at safety.
He's good. I like the way his foot, his enthusiasm, the way he plays the game and special teams. He throws his body around. And just, you watch him on the field, he goes going full speed all the time. Look at him laying out there with just the arms diving precisely at the shoestrings.
Dave Campo, the defensive coordinator, says it takes a long time for me to make changes. But Crocker's starting to bring him around. Dirk Johnson with the punt, a good one. Backing up Northcutt, what a good grab. Now he turns it, and he's got an opening. Northcutt gets to the sideline, out of bounds near midfield.
Penalty flag down back at the line of scrimmage on the gunner outside there.
58-yard punt, 21-yard return. We check out the flag. It's against the Eagles.
Illegal formation. Number 83 on the kicking team. Penalty is declined. We'll take the result of the play. First down for Cleveland. Timeout.
The Eagles have had a lot of penalties.
Yeah, much more than they're used to taking. Good punt, but an outstanding return for the Browns. Look at the offensive line of the Cleveland Browns. They've done a good job, Bill.
Well, look at the holes they're opening up. Look at the yards they produce. That group looks like it could be the bouncer of the month club. Look at them.
Browns start from the 49-yard line.
Go left, go left, go left.
Tight end shifting. There's Aaron Shea. Brisbane Jackson in motion. William Green carries. They want him to have patience, wait for the hole to open up, and he took some time and got about 2 on the play. Just across midfield. Sam Rayburn, the second-year defensive tackle from Tulsa, made the stop. And hasn't Rayburn been a big welcome addition for the Eagles defensive line?
Look at his right hand. Look at his right gloves, and it's just filled with blood. Take a look at him. He's going to get his hand down there. He's just filled up with blood on his hand. It's dangling down in there. And if there's one guy that can take on a bouncer, it's a truck driver. And that's what they call him, the truck driver.
There's William Green, couple of blocks, and he's pushed back. Javon Curse leading the way.
The truck driver, watch him get the penetration in the back. Now, the truck driver got his nickname from the guys on his team. Watch him get this push here over Enoch DeMar. He gets that push, extends, keeps his one hand free, then slides down the line, and he's the one that caused that play. He was almost there to make the tackle, but he definitely caused the play, and everybody else collided and came in and filled.
Was a good run stopper at Tulsa in college, but was overlooked in the draft. Signed as a free agent by the Eagles last year. Here's 3rd and long. Have to get to the 41 for a first down. Garcia gets pressure. Fires and complete. Flag on the play. Completion to Antonio Bryant. The yardage will be good enough for the first down. We check out the flag. Lito Shepard covering Antonio Bryant on the play.
Yeah, and they're going to finally get the flag that they had on Antonio Bryant, or should have called on Antonio Bryant before on the Garcia fumble.
Number 26. The penalty is declined. We'll take the result of the play. First down.
Well, that's the
14-yard pickup.
Well, they know the speed Antonio Bryant has. Lito Shepard, right when he gets even with him, see, he gets his hands on him. That's what he did before. You can't get your hands on the receiver once you're past 5 yards, Sam.
So the Browns with the first down at the Eagles 36. Suggs and Smith in the backfield. A play fake by Garcia. Going deep for Northcutt. Then it's broken up. Sheldon Brown. Excellent coverage on Dennis Northcutt.
Outstanding job by Sheldon Brown on staying with Northcutt. And Northcutt's a guy that once this little move right in here is where he can get you. But see him stay with him. He always has a feel, and he uses the sideline as his buddy to always have a feel for where Northcutt is. He turned his hips on him early because he knew he had him out against the sideline. Then he just runs with him and tries to feel where he's at the entire time so he can make a leap at the ball at the right moment.
Browns with 2 tight ends in. Lee Suggs carrying. And fights his way close to the 30-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Browns.
Yeah, but think about that clock, Sam. Think about the clock and the running and eating it up.
Are they wearing the Eagles down? That'll be the question.
Well, we're going to see. You know, Andy hasn't been happy with his performance of his team in the second half. It's something that's concerned him. And if you keep on running at him, you can see the time of possession right there. If you keep on running at him, and then you get Nick 42 back in the game to start pounding on him, no. It's not a friendly situation to be in.
3 wide receivers for the Browns. Garcia throws and completes it to Northcutt. Dives forward, and he's got the first down. Good effort by Dennis Northcutt.
Nice awareness.
Ryan Dawkins was on him, tried to hold him up short of the first down line, couldn't do it.
Well, Antonio Bryant, again, watch him, Sam. Watch him look towards the sidelines. He's going to take that ball, and he's looking for the first down, and he lunges forward at the last moment. That was Dennis Northcutt. He lunges forward, flag down on the ground.
12 men, offense in the huddle, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, and that's going to kill him. And the reason for that is you've got new guys up. You've got Frisman Jackson up. You've got Antonio Bryant back in the mix now. As the wide receivers hurt, you lose King, so you're not quite sure who's in, who's out. You may have the fullback out on the field, too. You have the 2 tight ends, so they're just not used to when the formation's called and the huddle, the personnel grouping. They're getting a little confused with the new guys.
First and 15 from the 29. 2 tight ends. Frisman Jackson motion. Blitz coming. William Green gets away. Slips one man, picks up a block, dives forward. What an effort by William Green. That was almost a huge loss on the blitz by Brian Dawkins.
I cannot believe Jeff Garcia got the ball into William Green's hand.
And Green spun away.
At the mesh where Garcia gives the ball to the running back, number 20, Dawkins is going to be in there as well, swatting his hand down. Amazing that William Green was able to get the ball away from Garcia and Dawkins and get it into his possession.
Picked up 8 on the play.
You go.
2nd and 5. Garcia throws outside. Touchdown. And all along is Steve Hyden for a touchdown. And the Browns take the lead.
Sam, I talked about it at halftime, and the Philadelphia Eagles are in there giving up 123 yards at halftime. So they're going to come in and they're going to hunker down on that run defense. They're going to correct it, and they're getting their butts chewed in that locker room about giving up that kind of yardage. The focus is on run defense. And on the other end of it, you know Cleveland's sitting there saying, we're going to come out and pass the second half. They're going to be so honed in on run defense that we're going to come out throwing. And I think it's caught Philadelphia totally off guard.
Steve Hyden's first touchdown in 2 years. Extra point by Phil Dawson is good. The Browns, who were down 21-10, now lead it 24-21.
Sheldon Brown gets picked right inside there. The 2 defenders run into each other. They're on the ground. And it's Steve Hyden and the Browns in the end zone.
Key men to watch on the coverage team for the Cleveland Browns. Lee Bodden, defensive back. Linebacker, Kevin Bentley. Chris Crocker, defensive back. They get down in a hurry. Phil Dawson to kick off. J.R. Reed takes it at the 6. Slipped one man, but not the second. Good tackle, Lee Bodden. Took him down, comes up limping a little bit, but good coverage by the Browns, who are pumped up right now. They have the lead and looking to shut down the Eagles. Crowd noise elevating. Eagles start from the 22 out of the shotgun. McNabb completes it to Todd Kingston out of bounds at the 31, close to the 32-yard line.
Lee Bodden is the special teams coverage guy and sack leader. You ever hear the term head on a swivel? Watch him look back upfield. Here he is right here. He's going to look back upfield, glance up once, glance up again, and then glance up finally, and then close in on the ball carrier. Because when you pop free in special teams and you're running full speed down the field, and you're the leading tackler on special teams, you'll glance back over your shoulder all the time to see if you're being set up, and somebody's going to come clean your clock from the blind side. So you always have to keep your head on a swivel, and that was a great shot of it right there of Lee Bodden looking back upfield.
Now some concern with injuries. Michael Lehan, a defensive back, is inactive today with an injury, and Bodden came up limping there. About half a yard short are the Eagles.
As he made the tackle, Sam, he tackled, he swung the ball carrier down onto his own leg.
Game going back to Philadelphia. And I know the McCloskey family is watching. because Kevin McCloskey is our audio expert today, making all the sounds come out of the stadium. And Bob Goosley is our technical director. His family's watching back in Philadelphia. They were checking him out. They're grading him.
And the Maas family's back there watching.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah.
They never miss one of your games.
No, they never miss an Eagles game.
Here's second down and half a yard for the Eagles, who have two tight ends in. Westbrook takes it, has the first down, and gets up to the 34-yard line. So the Eagles now have to play from behind.
First time all year. It's amazing, isn't it? And I'm not sure with this offense if this is the bunch of guys you want to get trailing in the game. With that man right there at the helm, and the things that he can piece together, with Donovan McNabb on the field at quarterback, and Teal outside, L.J. Smith and Westbrook. I'm not sure you want to fire these guys up too much.
Alvin McKinley, number 97, in a defensive tackle for the Browns. First down, Eagles. McNabb has time. Throws short. It's dropped. L.J. Smith, who's had a rough go the last few weeks. He had a shoulder problem, but it's a lot better now. They say he's 100%, but he should have caught that one. Let's go down to the sideline to Jay Glazer. Jay, what's happening?
Well, Sam, on the last possession, not this possession, Terrell Owens on the last play actually hurt his right thumb. He came off the field. He was jiggling it a lot, came to the sidelines, holding it. He tried to work it out for that entire Browns possession. He was just trying to work out whatever problem with that right thumb that he was having. He actually got up, caught some passes, thought it was okay, but he was clearly in some pain. They haven't thrown to him yet, but obviously he feels good enough to go back in.
Three wide receivers in, but Westbrook carries, bounced it outside, slips a couple of tackles. That's a first down. Nice run by Brian Westbrook up to the 48. And as Bill mentioned earlier, with Andy Reid's philosophy with Brian Westbrook, keep feeding him the ball. He's going to break one eventually.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a guy that you kind of wonder how long can he hold up. And he's a guy, there's a lot of backs that have been in the league that Tiki Barber was one of those guys. And they didn't think he was big enough early on in his career to be the dominant back. And the fact of the matter is, if you're good enough, you're big enough. And Brian Westbrook is good enough.
From their own 48 on first down, McNabb wants to go deep. Way down for Freddie Mitchell. A shot down. The middle linebacker, Andre Davis, was covering on the play. And without seeing it, he knocked it down.
54. This turns out to look like a cover 3. When you get the matchup with 54, the middle linebacker, on a wide receiver, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to have to drop deep. He's running the full length of the field, and he's behind Freddie Mitchell. And he has a lot of ground to make up. He never has time to turn around, so he just keeps on sprinting and puts his hand up in the air and gets a piece of the ball.
And the pass obviously underthrown a little bit because Mitchell was behind Davis. 4 wide receivers. Quick outside. And Todd Pinkston turns it into a first down at the 41-yard line. The Eagles mix it up so well. 4th catch of the game for Pinkston. They can throw that quick out. They can throw short slant passes to the tight ends and then throw the deep passes to Pinkston or Owens. 11-yard pickup for the Eagles.
They can really put your defense on its heels, and that's a bad place for defense to play. On its heels. The defense needs to play on its toes, going forward, coming at you. But the way the Eagles put you back on the heels, Sam, is just how you explained. They'll take the ball and spread it everywhere.
Westbrook behind Fraley, the center. Flag on the play. Westbrook out of bounds at the 37. It's going to be against the Eagles.
And actually, you know, this is a good... I bet you Andy's probably concerned a little bit.
Holding. Number 69. Offense. The 10-yard penalty remains first down.
John Runyon, the right tackle, called for the hold.
Oh, hell, I don't think John Runyon even starts to play until he gets a flag thrown on him. I don't think he gets his blood at the proper temperature it needs to be played that he likes to play the game at until he gets a flag. But, you know, Andy Reid may be concerned a little bit about this game and they're in a battle, but I guarantee you, deep down inside, he loves the adversity that his team's facing right now. Because that's got to be your biggest question as a coach. When you've led all the time and you're always in the front, you kind of want a little adversity to see how your team responds to it.
A discussion on the far side. Tom White and Butch Davis. Ball spotted at the Eagles 49. It's first down. They have to get to the Browns 31 for a first down. World Series Game 2 tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. Red Sox leading the series 1-0.
Unbelievable baseball postseason.
3 wide receivers for the Eagles. Freddie Mitchell is in as the third. McNabb, short drop. His man fell down. Westbrook coming out of the backfield fell down and couldn't get up in time.
Yes, he did. He did slip down a little bit, Sam, and I have to say that he had the linebackers slip out there as well.
That's Kevin Bentley.
Yeah. I like Kevin Bentley, the way he plays. He comes in, he's their nickel linebacker, and he comes in passing situations, and they have 3 receivers on the field.
Here's 2nd and 20. Josh Perry is in. Right now he's a wingback to the right side.
Regular personnel for Philadelphia on the field.
McNabb waits. Screen pass to Westbrook. Blocked by Artis Hicks. Westbrook down to the 44-yard line. And out of bounds at the 43. Robert Griffith chased him out. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Eagles. Detroit giving the Giants a lot of trouble in New York. Kansas City having a huge day against Atlanta. Chiefs looking for their 2nd win of the season.
They're tough at home, boy.
Big play here. Brown alive, urging on the Browns defense. Eagles have to get to the 31. The play fake. McNabb going deep. Way down for Kingston. He was bumped. No, incidental contact. It's incomplete.
Now, Philly fans are going to be livid over that, but that's the rules and that's the way they're written. When both players are looking up to the ball and their feet entangle, that's what it is. It's incidental contact.
Robert Griffith was covering on the play, the safety. The throw too long. Todd Pinkston. 3rd punt of the game for Dirk Johnson. Good high punt. Northcutt lets it drop at the 5. The Eagles have it surrounded, and they down it at the 4-yard line.
That's big time. That's a big-time punt, and it's a big-time break that the Eagles needed.
39-yard punt. Good hang time by Dirk Johnson. Allows the coverage players to get down. J.R. Reed led the way. Browns have had balance in their offense. Rushed for 141 yards, passed for 150. Start from the 4-yard line. Looks like the Eagles jumped off.
Count. Huge hard count by Jeff Garcia. I jumped up here.
Encroachment, nose tackle. Defense, 5-yard penalty, remaining first down.
Come on, Tom. We need a number.
There we go. We got it here. Darwin Walker, number 97. 1st and 5. Lee Suggs, not much. Good job up front by the Eagles, standing him up. Dolphins doing well against St. Louis, right, JB?
Hey, Sam, 12.5 minutes away in regulation from getting their first win of the season. Travis Minor doing the honors, 13-yard TD, 21-7 Miami, and again, 12.5 left in regulation. Back to Sam and Bill.
Thanks, JB. And the Rams up and down, sometimes good, other days bad. He Suggs in the backfield, takes the toss, a couple of blockers, cuts it back, tries the other side, flag on the play, good tackle made by Lito Shepherd at the 7-yard line. Eagles defense, faced with a 1st and 5, has come up with 2 outstanding stops.
Holding. Number 19. Offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
It's on Frisman Jackson, the wide receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the 7-yard line. Eagles bring in Keith Adams, 57, as a nickel linebacker, and Roderick Hood as a 5th defensive back, number 29. Browns with 3 wide receivers in. Aaron Shea went in motion. Garcia rolls and looks. Throws way out of bounds. Pressure on the play from Corey Simon, who gets up in the face of Garcia and has to be escorted away. Simon almost with a real dumb play.
It's Andy and I together declining any invitations to buffets. We've got that down, Sam. We just give it that little wave like that. No.
So a good defensive series for the Eagles. Forces Derek Frost.
Huge field
3rd
position.
punt of the game.
It started with a Dirk Johnson punt.
Fair catch, wave 4 by Reno Mahe. Takes it 46-yard line of the Browns. 39-yard punt. No return. Reno Mahe secures the ball. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Back to where they punted the ball. False start. Philadelphia might want to take that over.
Illegal formation. Number 51. The kicking team. Penalty is declined. Philadelphia takes the result of the play. 1st down.
Well, when you're inside the 50, we showed you those numbers. Almost 60% opportunity to score either a field goal or a touchdown. But last possession, here's T.O. right here. Take a look at him. That was on the incomplete pass, and T.O. had the post corner route, and he was wide open in the corner. Couldn't believe he didn't get the ball thrown to him. Thrown to Peaston on the post route.
Eagles come out with 2 tight ends. Owens brought back closer to the line as they start from the Browns 46. McNabb to Westbrook. Beats Andre Davis. Nice move. Davis finally hauls him down at the 39-yard line. 7-yard pickup.
I'm not sure how many players they had on. Do they have 11 out there, son?
Who's that? Cleveland?
Oh, the
Eagles?
Eagles, yeah. I'm not sure if I had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Was that 10? Was that right?
3, 7.
Did they have unless there was 2 tights up there, I didn't see him bunched in there.
Levens in the backfield. Cuts it back. Good run by Dorsey Levens. It's a 1st down. His first carry of the game. Brings it down to the 32-yard line. Andre Davis and Dalen McCutcheon combine on the tackle. Browns defense giving up 21 points all in the 1st half. Done a good job on 3rd downs.
Well, that's where their defense has improved.
But the Eagles' passing game has been good. McNabb over 300 yards. 3rd time this season. 8th time in his career. 1st down at the Browns 32. The play fake. McNabb.
There it is.
Open man. Freddie Mitchell inside the 10. Dives across the 5-yard line.
First of all, Sam, as I said from the beginning, Donovan McNabb will have 500 yards today if you don't get pressure on him. And over 300 right now. Well, he sits in the pocket like I would sit in my lazy boy chair. There is nothing around him whatsoever. He's waits, comfortable. There's nothing around him. There's no threat at all. He could have sat in there another 2 seconds without moving.
28-yard pickup, 1st and goal, Eagles at the 4. Dorsey Levens and Josh Perry in the backfield. Power backs. Mitchell in motion. McNabb rolling and looking, being pressured, throws it away. Pressure from Ebenezer Ecubon. 3rd quarter has come to an end. 1st quarter this season, ends with the Eagles losing. First time that they're trailing at the end of a quarter this season. However, they're threatening to regain the lead. End of 3. Browns 24, Eagles 21. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Jake Glazer at Cleveland Browns Stadium. And this is something different for the Eagles. They're trailing late. They have won each of their first 5 games by 10 points or more. This is a tight one as we start the 4th quarter. Eagles with a 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. 3 wide receivers in. Blitz coming. Dorsey Levin slips one man. Fights his way to the 2-yard line before he's pushed back. The veteran Dorsey Levins picked up early in the season after injury to Terrell Buckhalter. Just adding veteran depth to the Eagle lineup. Ball spotted just inside the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. 2 tight ends in. Westbrook in the backfield. Both wide receivers right. Owens and Pinkston. McNabb, shovel pass, touchdown, L.J. Smith. It is the 4th touchdown pass of the game for Donovan McNabb, and the 100th of his career. And the Eagles have regained the lead. See the frustration on the part of the Browns defense. But it started with a good defensive series by the Eagles, which gave them good field position.
And a good punt before that by Dirk Johnson. They downed it inside the 5, and that got the whole thing rolling.
Akers for the extra point. The Eagles have a 4-point lead. 28-24. They've surpassed their output, their average output of the season. Little shovel pass, and L.J. Smith takes it in. And the Eagles lead again. Beautiful fall colors lead to great football on Sunday. Another great one coming up. Most of the country will see the Cowboys at the Packers. Seattle is at Arizona. New Orleans at Oakland. Coming up, 2nd game of the NFL on Fox doubleheader. Last time Donovan McNabb played here, December of 2000, he also threw 4 touchdown passes. Akers kick taken by Frisman Jackson from the 3. And Jackson is taken down at the 23-yard line. The ball popped loose. The Eagles have it. Let's see the officials.
Was he down?
Talking about it.
Was he? Look at this. Somebody is absolutely out cold.
One of the Eagles players.
I mean, out cold.
That's Jason Short. Jason Short, the first-year linebacker who is the wedge breaker on kickoff coverage.
And there was a collision. I felt the collision up here.
Quentin Michael recovered the fumble. Right now, the entire Eagles bench is out on the field, concerned for their teammate.
Oh boy, I'd say I'm telling you, that collision was wow.
Jason Short is an all-out player, one of those guys that gives you everything he's got. He's a success story, a guy who played in the Arena Football League for Peoria a couple of years ago, played last year in NFL Europe, and now concern on everyone's part for his well-being.
Well, he's the wedge breaker, and he gets down in there, and I'll tell you, one thing you teach tacklers and special teams is to get your head across the bow, and that's getting your head across the body of the blocker when you're making a tackle, because if you get your head behind it and just your shoulder on it, you'll just slide down his legs and he'll continue on. And that emphasis of getting your head across the bow, and I think that's where we're at here.
Andy Reid comes out, and the good news is Short is sitting up, and he's talking.
Oh, we're not sure what language.
Well, it doesn't matter. Bottom line is he is conscious. You see the concern on the part of the Browns as well.
They say that every week, Sam, they put on footage of him running down into that wedge.
And who he slams into.
Yeah.
He goes all out. Full throttle is his nickname.
Full throttle is his name. There's 52. Oh, there it is, right there.
You can see running it. By.
Yep. A head on the thigh of the player as it comes through, up and through.
Medical staff of the Eagles wanting to make sure that Jason Short is okay. Knows where he is. He's going to be taken off on the cart. Short is conscious. Seems to be bleeding a little bit. But getting quality attention from the medical staff.
You talk about the little things in the game. There's Donovan McNabb over there giving his best. And look at, I mean, take a look at him. He doesn't stop going. Once all is well and everybody knows everything is safe, it's right back to the passion of the game.
The Eagles fumble recovery. Third turnover of the game for the Browns. Dorsey Levens carries straight ahead inside the 15. So the Eagles with a chance to open up a sizable lead as the Browns turn it over. And that's the second fumble for the Browns on kickoff return. James Jackson fumbled once. Brisbane Jackson fumbles.
And you know what? Hey.
And they're missing Andre King, who was their return man to start the game.
And Jason Short doesn't want to come off the field. He has to in that circumstance. Knocked out, blood all over him. But I have to tell you, he may have been taken off the field, but he won in that instance.
Off the fake, McNabb, plenty of time. Coming open, the tight end, Chad Lewis, ridden down at the 15-yard line by Robert Griffith. But you know what, Bill? The one thing that bothered me, that they spotted at the 10-yard line, was that there was concern on the part of the Browns for him. When he got up, he was yelling at the Browns bench. I don't know if he needed to.
Sam, you got that picture there.
Yeah.
The Browns were taunting him.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, you got knocked out. And they've watched this guy on film all week long. That's their #1 special teams kamikaze. And everybody wants a piece of the special teams kamikaze.
First and goal at the 10. Westbrook in trouble, thrown for a loss. Great penetration by Kennard Lang.
And the thing about it is, as I said, that there was concern until they realized he was fine. And the second they realized he was fine, the passion of the game continues. There's an honor amongst special teams players, and they know who each other are on each and every team. They know them more so than the fans know their own team. They know who the special teams heroes are, and they go after each other with such ferocity. It's unbelievable.
Second and goal for the Eagles at the 12 after a loss of 2. L.J. Smith in at tight end. It's Westbrook, and they got him. Kennard Lang again. Back-to-back. Outstanding plays by Kennard Lang. 2 losses on successive plays. Eagles set back to the 15.
Just sliding down the backside of the line of scrimmage. And in order for a backside defensive player to make a tackle down the line of scrimmage like that, the front side must be stacking it up. Because if it was open, the runner wouldn't be there.
Westbrook shaking up. Dorsey Levens replaces him. Third and goal for the 15. McNabb being rushed. And they got him first time. Ebenezer Ekibon. First sack of the game. Only the 10th time this season Donovan McNabb has been sacked. And he gets up, pounding the ball to the grass. Eagles lost 10 yards on 3 successive plays.
Well, they run a stunt over there on the other side, actually. with Alvin McKinley and also Ebenezer Ekibon, and they run a little Texas El Paso game with the tackle in the end, and they loop around, and one takes another one way.
David Akers from 38 yards, and it is right through. Akers having another outstanding season. He's 14 for 17. The Eagles were threatening to open up a double-digit lead. The Browns defense responded. Now they'll call on Jeff Garcia to try and get him back. Special teams coordinator for the Browns, Jerry Rosberg, very nervous right now. They fumbled 2 of the last 3 kickoff returns. James Jackson one, Frisman Jackson the other. David Akers kicks off. And it's James Jackson from the 6. He's tripped up, and a flag on the play. Jackson went down at the 26-yard line. Keith Adams made the tackle on special teams for the Eagles.
Well, see him over there? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the special teams guys. And they know each other, and they taunt each other. And when you're the special teams kamikazes, when you go down there, you're either making plays, and if you get knocked out, boy, now the other team has the upper hand. Now they've got
59 during the return, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Because the kamikazes are always looking to knock you out. When you knock out the kamikaze, that's when you talk junk.
Kevin Bentley called for the hold. Browns start from the 12-yard line, down by 7. 2 tight ends in. Northcutt in motion. William Green, the running back. Green takes it outside. Knocked out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Let's go to the sideline to Jay Glazer. Jay?
Sam, I'm standing right here by Brian Westbrook. When the team trainers took his shoulder pads and jersey off, they're trying to figure out right now. He's having some problems. They've been working on his chest area, his upper back, his shoulder, and I think right now they're just trying to figure out what's wrong with him. He's clearly in a lot of discomfort right now, and I'll get more word to you when the Eagles give it to me.
He was slammed down by Ebenezer Ekibon right on top of the by Kennard Lang, right on top of the ball. I don't know if that affected him at all. From the 15 on 2nd and 7. Garcia runs out of the pocket and is tripped up and goes down at the 24-yard line. He's got a first down. Dahani Jones got a piece of him, but Garcia gets enough for the first down. Garcia, who will move out of that pocket many times just to pass, that time took off with room to run. From the 24, 2 tight ends in. William Green carrying, and maybe a yard on the play. Corey Simon made the stop. Eagles defensive line doing a better job against the run here, Bill?
Yeah, they have been, but you know the thing about it is I haven't seen much of 42, Terrell Smith. And I thought that they did come out in the second half and they passed a little bit more, but 42 is a guy that you need to stick with. He gives the attitude to this team. Heck, that's the reason they brought him in here.
Tight end Aaron Shea wide right, over the middle. And the completion of Frisman Jackson to the 31-yard line. And there's plenty of time left still in the game, 8:48, and you need a touchdown. But I don't think you stop pounding. You came in. I think right now Cleveland's pressing because they've taken 42 out of the mix and they're not staying with the run. The one thing they did in the whole first half, even if they trailed, was they stuck with the run. They stayed there. They kept going to it, and they kept pounding you, letting you know they're going to come. And when you have 42 in the game, I'm telling you, folks, he adds a different element to the running game. 3 wide receivers in on 3rd and 2.5. Garcia rolling, looking, flag on the play. He's got enough for the first down. But now we check out the flag. Garcia gets up to the 41-yard line. The flag is back at the 26, and there's an Eagle down on the far sideline. It's Sheldon Brown, the cornerback.
Holding number 72, offense, 10-yard penalty remains. Third down.
That could be a killer penalty taken by Ryan Tucker, the right tackle. Now for the Eagles, Sheldon Brown hurt on the play. Eagles concerned for Sheldon Brown. We'll be right back. Sheldon Brown ran off the field under his own power, has to come out for at least one play. Matt Ware, rookie out of UCLA, who played his first NFL game last week, comes in at cornerback. 3 wide receivers for the Browns have to get to the 34 for a first down. Garcia scrambling, throwing, and completes it to Brisbane Jackson. First down, Cleveland at the 45.
Did Lito Shepherd slip on that?
I didn't see that. Now you see Darwin Walker holding his right leg.
Well, he hurt his calf earlier this week in practice. Take a look at Lito Shepherd. They just get lost in coverage on the count, Sam. They're in zone defense, and they drifted out. They got lost on the count to that side, and that shouldn't happen with only 2 receivers to one side.
Walker limping off.
He's had a calf problem. He injured this week in practice. He was out here before the game warming up, trying to get it loose, and felt okay. He might have got a kick or something on that last play.
Brisbane Jackson in his first game of the season after being brought up from the practice squad with 2 catches in the game. Sheldon Brown is back on at right cornerback for the Eagles. Sam Rayburn has moved into Darwin Walker's spot.
Boy,
the defensive tackle.
Sam, the Eagles had the Browns right where they wanted. They could have ended this thing right there. They got the penalty. They had them backed up. They could have been forcing a punt. Got lackadaisical.
Browns are 7 for 11 on third down. On first down, the bomb thrown. A flag on the play on Lito Shepherd. Pass intended for Dennis Northcutt. Let's see. Was it against Northcutt? Shepherd was yelling at him, pointing in the other direction. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be against Dennis Northcutt. Offensive pass interference.
Pass interference. Number 86. Offense. It's a 10-yard penalty. Remain. First down.
Oh, yeah. Little grab on the arm.
Good call. Well, hey, take it as you call it, as you see it. You know, that was there, but I got to tell you, too, that Lito Shepherd had his arm bar out and was trying to push against Dennis Northcutt. And if that arm bar's out, you're trying to clear that arm bar to get by. The arm bar was clearly out. There's no question about it. And that's what Butch is arguing about. But what the official saw on that side was the pull to get past the arm bar.
It's 1st and 20 from the 35. Garcia quick outside of Lee Suggs, and right there to make the play is Nate Wayne.
Big play. Big play for Nate Wayne, because when you're taking the linebacker and you're widening him out on a slot receiver, and him be able to shake the block and get underneath that's big.
We welcome those of you who've been watching other games. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Jay Glazer in Cleveland, where the Browns have a 2nd and long at their own 35, trailing the Eagles 31-24. Jeff Garcia to Lee Suggs, hit hard, brought the ball, it's incomplete. Incompleted pass.
Jeremiah Trotter.
What a hit by the middle linebacker.
The axe man. You see him come up with the axe? Anytime Jeremiah Trotter gets a big hit or big tackle, he comes up with the axe swing. That's how he used to train to get ready for college football in the offseason.
Wielding an axe?
You know, we used to chop wood on his farm.
Big hit. Brings up 3rd and long.
You see the hit, there's the axe. He swings it.
3rd and 20, have to get to the Eagles 45 for first down. Browns led 24-21. The Eagles answered back with a touchdown and a field goal. Garcia waiting, being chased by Corey Simon, now by Sam Rayburn. And was he out of bounds when he threw? He was very close to the sideline. The pass is incomplete.
Brown's had some opportunities, and the penalties have shot him in the foot.
Rayburn almost got him. Ooh, just was inbounds when he let it go, but nobody open, and he threw it away. So now Derek Frost back to punt. Fourth punt of the game for Derek Frost. Good high kick. Reno Mahe takes a look, waits for a fair catch on the 18-yard line. 47-yard punt, no return. Eagles go on offense from their own 18. We welcome you to Cleveland. Sam Rosen, Bill Maas, Jay Glazer, where the Cleveland Browns have run the ball well. Donovan McNabb has passed the ball well, and the Eagles, who are trying for their 6th consecutive win and 9th consecutive road win, lead at 31-24.
And that's how Cleveland stayed in the game. And for the first time in a game, Philadelphia found themselves trailing in the third quarter, Sam. But Cleveland has gotten away from the run.
Off the play fake, McNabb waiting, looking, and throws off the hands of Terrell Owens and out of bounds. Terrell Owens has 3 catches in the game, 2 for touchdowns, 97 yards. He has not caught a pass in the second half. Donovan McNabb has passed for 4 touchdowns, tying a career high. He had 4 earlier in the game this season against the Giants, and he had 4 against the Browns here in Cleveland 4 years ago, the last time these two teams met.
And had 1 personal foul to that, too. 1 penalty. Okay. 1 15-yarder to Tijo's numbers right there. That was on the celebration after a touchdown.
Ripped the sign off the wall. McNabb's pass is caught by Todd Kingston, and he's pushed back. They'll give him forward progress to the 21-yard line, his 5th catch of the game.
And in an effort to catch the audience up about real quickly what's transpired in this game, we've left out the fact that how critical of a possession this is for the Cleveland Browns. They have got to get the ball back now to give themselves an opportunity, a comfortable opportunity to work the offense and work what they do best and move the ball downfield.
And the crowd urging on the defense. Brian Westbrook was shaken up on the last possession. He's on the sideline.
Bunch package right here.
On 3rd down, everybody out. McNabb looking, throwing off the hands of Chad Lewis, the tight end. He was covered by the middle linebacker, Andre Davis. The Browns come up with a big defensive stand. The Eagles maintain a 7-point lead, but now we'll have to punt. We welcome those of you who were watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears, with the Bucs winning at 19-7. Here in Cleveland, the Eagles lead the Browns 31-24. Dirk Johnson's punt taken by Dennis Northcutt. Got a good return across the 45-yard line. For those of you just joining us, we'll catch you up on the touchdown scored in the game. The Eagles scored early, 43 seconds into the game. Chad Lewis taking the pass from McNabb. Then it was McNabb going up top to Terrell Owens. That made it 14-7. Owens, touchdown reception, made it 21-7. McNabb shovel pass to L.J. Smith. And that regained the lead for the Eagles after they fell behind 24-21 early in the 4th quarter. They got the touchdown and then a field goal from David Akers. Now the Browns. Garcia handing off to Lee Suggs. Finds an opening. Gets across midfield to the Eagles' 49-yard line. Jeremiah Trotter tripped him up.
And Sam, and now they can come back to 42. Terrell Smith. Watch 42. His job in life is to blow up linebackers, and he loves to get underneath them. And the running backs know to follow him. He's a guy, look at him. He's on the sidelines, can't wait to get up. He's sniffing the ammonia capsules. Now, the only thing about that is when you sniff an ammonia capsule, you will cough, gag, and your eyes will water.
Suggs, again, nothing there. This time the Eagles have done a good job shutting down the running game in the second half. Stop Lee Suggs. Hollis Thomas made the tackle.
Well, they also came back out and have been passing the ball a little bit more because they knew at halftime, Sam, after giving up 123 yards, that Philadelphia was going to hunker down on that run defense, and they concentrated on that. And the Browns made the natural move. They came out and started throwing the ball, catching Philly a little bit off guard. But now they're on even kilters. Now everything is washed out, and it's an even playing field, and they have time on their possession and in their favor. They get a first down here to work their magic.
3 wide receivers in. Garcia throws complete to the tight end, Aaron Shea. First down, but a flag on the play. Shea gets down to the Eagles' 36-yard line where Dhani Jones took him down. But check out the flag. Look at that score. Kansas City 56, Atlanta 10. Tom White is our referee. Browns head coach Butch Davis trying to get Tom White's
Tom,
attention.
it's on them. And I'm sure Andy's on the other sideline yelling, Tom, it's on the Browns.
No offensive pass interference in this play. No penalty.
Okay.
First down.
They made the call after good lengthy discussion.
And for the Browns, it's been a lot about tight ends today. Hayden and Shea have been absolutely outstanding, and they've had to be because they've been the mainstay in this offense. Since Kellen Winslow's departure, the focal point has really been them. Because at the wide receiver position, they've had some losses. Quincy Morgan was traded this week. Andre Davis is down. Dennis Northcutt becomes the starter, and Antonio Bryant's in the mix, and he doesn't even know plays.
On first down, Garcia in trouble. They sack him. Second sack of the game, make it 3 sacks in the game for the team leading the league, the Philadelphia Eagles. They were tied with Atlanta coming into play today with 20.
Well, what happens here is they come with the blitz. That's what it's about. The linebackers come. Dhani Jones comes. On the other side, it's Nate Wayne. And when you're bringing 6 and you got 5 in there blocking, and you're trying to get your receivers out, eventually the pocket's going to collapse. But the key to that is coverage, and the coverage was there.
Derek Burgess got there as well. In motion, Brisbane Jackson. Garcia throws and almost picked off as he threw it wide of the tight end Steve Hayden.
I got out of the way.
You know, right now in the second half, I have to tell you that once Cleveland came out throwing, Sam, Philadelphia's secondary has settled down, and the receivers are not getting open for the Cleveland Browns. And the pocket is not moving. And for Jeff Garcia to be at his best, he has to get out of the pocket, or they have to move the pocket, whether it be bootlegs, naked bootlegs, rolls, whatever the case may be. To give him a chance, he's got to be on the run.
They have to get to the 26 for a first down. Garcia rush, gets rid of it to Aaron Shea. Slips one man, gets down to the 32-yard line. The Browns have had 2 rushing touchdowns in the game. One by William Green. That tied the game at 7 at the time. And one by Lee Suggs. And that cut the Eagles lead to 21-17 at the time. Garcia found Steve Hayden for a touchdown.
They're going.
And gave the Browns the lead. And Butch Davis says go for it on 4th down.
No chance for the field goal because 6 points isn't going to help them.
4th and 6. Blitz coming. Here they come. Thrown up in the air and incomplete. Intended for Aaron Shea, wants the flag, and there are no flags on the play. Eagles take over.
There's a flag?
Oh, there's a flag in the backfield.
On Brian Dawkins, roughing the passer, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Brian Dawkins came on the blitz, Sam, and he was in the backfield so fast.
Roughing the passer. Number 20. Jump in the air and lunges the quarterback. 16 yards. First down.
Here's Dawk. He's up top. Garcia gets the ball off, and they come down. I don't know. Hey, he just left his feet and came down. I mean,
you know what?
It wasn't head-to-head. It wasn't hands-to-head.
There was one man pushing him into the other, and they made contact.
I think it was more like an Academy Award on Garcia.
Nevertheless, the penalty stands, and the Eagles have taken a lot of penalties in the game. Ball at the 17-yard line with Suggs and Smith in the backfield. It's Lee Suggs. There's no hole. And he's brought down by Jeremiah Trotter. Good tackle by the middle linebacker.
And there's only one place this Browns team can put the ball, Sam. There's no doubt about it. With the clock and the situation and the way it is, they're going to have a 2-minute warning coming up right here. They need to get in the end zone.
Looking for the tying touchdown. We've reached the 2-minute warning. The Eagles have taken 9 penalties in the game. The last one may be very costly. Jeff Garcia, 17 for 28, 204 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Butch Davis's team in position to get that tying touchdown.
You couldn't ask to be in a better position. The way they've played the game and the changes they've made and everything they've done to keep themselves within striking distance of pulling it off is all coming to a head right here with 2 minutes left.
2nd and 11. 2 tight ends in. Suggs the lone setback. Here comes the blitz. Garcia gets rid of it and completes it to Northcutt inside the 10 and down close to the first down line near the 7.
It's what we talked about when we talked about Jeff Garcia. Buying time. It's when he's best. The blitz is on. Everybody's rushing right into his face, and he drops back to give the receiver time to clear. Everybody's coming right into his lap. All-out blitz. He rolls to buy himself time and the receiver time to clear. Throws a perfect ball off of 1 foot.
1st and goal for the Browns, and Jeff Garcia uses a timeout. They still have 2 remaining. Cleveland Browns 3-3, 3-0 at home. Trying to mount this comeback and get it tied. 2nd game coming up. Most of you will see the Dallas Cowboys at Green Bay. Some will see Seattle at Arizona. Others will see New Orleans at Oakland. And then tonight, 7:30 Eastern time, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox, game 2 of the World Series at Fenway Park in Boston. Curt Schilling and Matt Morris, the starting pitchers. Andy Reid and Jim Johnson, his defensive coordinator, talk things over.
Well, you know, the thing about it is Jim Johnson loves to come after the quarterback inside the red zone, as he did there. But Andy's concern possibly has to be that when you do blitz Jeff Garcia, if he gets outside of it, that's what happens, is that strike he made, just like the strike there for the first down.
Terrell Smith is out as a wingback to the right on 1st and goal. The fake by Garcia. He rolls, he looks, he's going to run. 5, dives to the 1-yard line. All week long, Andy Reid reminded his team of how much Jeff Garcia could hurt them. He did last year as a member of the 49ers.
And he speaks with him with such high respect and high regard. And he talks about this guy and how dangerous he is outside the pocket. He is more accurate in his career outside the pocket than he is in the pocket. And early on into the Cleveland Browns, they only used him as a drop-back quarterback. It's just as of late, he's been on the run.
6th defensive lineman for the Eagles. 2nd and goal. William Green is thrown for a loss. Hollis Thomas with terrific penetration drops William Green at the 4-yard line. A loss of 3.
William Green has to follow 42. And that's the one thing, you know, 42 always tells him, hey, you've got to follow me. William Green leaves his fullback and cuts it back up inside, and that's where the problem occurs. He's got to stay outside and follow 42. 42 would have taken him to the end zone.
But let's give a lot of credit to Hollis Thomas on that play.
He got some push, there's no question. Well, heck, you get down in goal line situations, Sam, you have 6 defensive linemen down in there. So it's mano-a-mano across the line of scrimmage. It's one-on-ones with everybody. Somebody's going to spring free and get the push inside a gap. And that time it was Hollis Thomas with the penetration.
Browns have 2 plays to get it in with 36 seconds and 1 timeout remaining. Suggs and Smith in the backfield now for Cleveland.
And that's why they went with Suggs, because Suggs, if they have to run it, will stay behind 42.
Hiding a tight left end. 3rd and goal. Garcia running to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. Dawkins could not deny Jeff Garcia his second rushing touchdown of the season. And now the Browns need an extra point to tie this game.
Boy, how big was that penalty, Sam, on roughing the passer?
Oh, huge. Dawson ties it up. Eagles still have 3 timeouts remaining. They will get the ball. Garcia leads his team 11 plays, 54 yards, and finishes it off head-to-head against Brian Dawkins. Man, he's not a big man, but he gave up his body for that one.
He's been doing that a long time, Sam. The guy just has a passion within him to play the game and compete. At the best, he gets more out of his body than a lot of guys get out of their body that are enormously talented individuals.
Browns brought him in, signed him in March after he was released by the 49ers to stabilize their quarterback situation and get a guy who could make plays. And he has indeed made plays. So is this man, Donovan McNabb. And he will try to make some plays and see if he can get his team down into position to score in the final seconds of regulation time. Donovan's dad standing, arms folded. There he is.
Mom
is there. They're celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary. T.O., who has not caught a pass in the second half. 3 in the first half. 2 for touchdowns. Dawson to kick off. J.R. Reed, a dangerous return man with good speed, the rookie. Dawson lets it go. Reed from the 5. Slips one man, trying to get outside. Browns chasing, big hit. Reed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Mason Unk was involved. Lee Bodden, the man leading the way for the Browns, took him out.
Well, on this blitz, it was 3rd down. 4th down, I'm sorry, and they had dropped the ball outside. There wasn't enough room. They had roughing the passer, and that gave them the 1st down 15-yard penalty. And after that, it was Garcia who put it in on the play roll. You see that collision to his helmet? Jeff Garcia got racked on that play. He was over on the sidelines with a handful of smelling salts trying to get revived a little bit.
Brian Westbrook remains out. He was hurt, seemed to be a chest injury earlier in the 4th quarter. Dorsey Levens in the backfield. 3 wide receivers for the Eagles. 21 seconds to go, regulation time. McNabb, plenty of time, lets it go. Terrell Owens, 1st down, out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Owens is over 100 yards receiving for the game. 4th consecutive game in which he's had at least 100 yards in receptions. 12-yard pickup. 13 seconds remaining. McNabb hit a couple of big ones earlier in the game to Todd Pinkston. 65 yards and a touchdown pass of 39 to Terrell Owens.
Philadelphia with all their timeouts. They've got to take a shot here and get out of bounds in order to try a field goal attempt or take a knee and just play for overtime.
McNabb pumps. Nobody open.
All the time in the world.
Running, looking, throwing, and incomplete. But that took a lot of time off the clock.
And a penalty down.
But nobody open.
Personal
a late
foul.
hit. Yeah, roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Chad Lewis is slow to get up. Orpheus Roy is going to get called for the roughing the passer penalty. With 3 seconds remaining.
Foul. Roughing the passer, 98. 15 yards, 1st down.
Excuse me, it's Ebenezer Ekubon who is called on the penalty.
Well, this was after the play was over as well. Oh,
yeah. That gives him 15 yards, but there's not enough time except to take 1 shot. You've got to take 1 shot to the end zone. 4 wide receivers in.
You know, that's kind of a precarious situation here, too, with one shot. Do you take one shot because you have a TO and jeopardize maybe an interception return for a touchdown, or do you just take a knee and play overtime?
Take the shot, which he's doing. Way up and all the way down. And up they go, and it falls incomplete. Todd Pinkston almost had it in his hands. He got his hands on the ball, but it dropped incomplete, and we're going to overtime. The 5-0 Eagles and the 3-3 Browns go to OT.
Pinkston was in the mix, and then Greg Lewis was there at the very end as well.
I think Anthony Henry gets a piece of this ball.
Sure does. Bat it down, Sam. Bat it down.
Pinkston came close. So now we'll go to overtime. Sudden death overtime. The Browns, both these teams, have shown comeback ability in the game. Browns have put up 31 points in successive games now.
It should be the same as the timing in the fourth quarter of the regular ball game. You get 2 timeouts. Because everything else is like the fourth quarter. Any challenges will come from upstairs in the replay booth. Just like in the last 2 minutes. This is tails. This is heads. Heads. Tails. You're the visiting team. What do you call? Tails. Tails are balls. Tails fields.
The Eagles win the toss. And they've elected to receive in overtime as they try to remain unbeaten. To familiarize yourself with the overtime rules, take a look. The coin toss we've already had. 1 15-minute quarter or less. If someone scores, it's over. 2 timeouts per team, and all replays come from the booth. Jeff Garcia beat the Philadelphia Eagles in overtime in Philadelphia last season with the San Francisco 49ers. And he's found a way to bring his team back. They were down 11 points in the first half.
You know, Cleveland's been able to maintain a close game the whole entire game. Every time Philadelphia had the opportunity to pull away with it, Cleveland came up with something, a big defensive stand or an interception to get the ball back. And they've just kept it close until the third quarter. Then they came out and took the lead. And Philadelphia, for the first time all season, had to play from behind, had to face a little adversity. They're in some right now, but they're getting the ball here first, and they're hot. They are hot. And I think Andy Reid is actually enjoying the fact that his team is facing this kind of challenge. Because he said to his team last night, Sam, he told him, he said, hey, guys, look, don't be surprised when you walk out in there and you see their surroundings. Don't be surprised with what you're going to get. This is a hostile atmosphere, and these people, this team is going to come at you with everything they have.
Bill Dawson kicks it off to start overtime. J.R. Reed from the 3. Across the 25 and across, taken down at the 31-yard line. Big day of sports on Fox. Second game of the NFL doubleheader follows this one. And then game 2 of the World Series. Joe Buck, Tim McCarver, Al Leiter, Gene Zelasco, Kevin Kennedy, all in Boston. Get you ready at 7:30 Eastern time, and then it's the Red Sox and the Cardinals game 2. The Eagles start from the 30. Bernard Lang can't hear the crowd. He wants them loud. Dorsey Levens and Josh Perry in the backfield. McNabb quick to Pinkston. Gets 5 yards on the play. Dalen McCutcheon on the tackle. 6th catch of the game for Todd Pinkston. David Akers, who's kicked 1 field goal in the game, staying ready.
Sam, and Andy Reid's been playing a game within a game all day long with the receivers and the secondary of the Browns. And the Browns don't know whether to come up and jam and play man-to-man, or play off and play man-to-man, or play zone against them.
3 wide receivers in, but the ball handed to Dorsey Levens. Broke it back across the 40. First down, Eagles up at the 43-yard line. Good run by Dorsey Levens. Let's go to the sideline to Jay Glazer.
Well, Sam, the reason why Dorsey Levens is in, earlier to the game, you guys alluded to the fact that Brian Westbrook had come down on the ball, and in fact he did. He has a chest injury. He was on the sidelines for a while, but then he got up and asked the team trainers to take him into the locker room, and obviously he's done for the game. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jay. Donovan McNabb, 26 for 39, 358 yards, 4 touchdown passes.
And for a guy who's 30% of the offense, that's advantage Cleveland.
Everybody out. McNabb in trouble. Gerard Warren's got him. The big defensive tackle with a second sack of the game for the Browns on Donovan McNabb.
Enormous play for Warren, Gerard Warren, who's been out for the last couple of weeks. He's been injured. He's been nicked up. Here he is, and he just doesn't stop working. He's on Artis Hicks, and he takes him inside. He works outside and just keeps on pursuit. Keeps his feet a chopping and works his way down the line of scrimmage and gets a hold of McNabb. The addition of him back in the lineup has really benefited the Cleveland Browns defense. Last week he was a little rusty. He's feeling up to par right now.
Loss of 4 on the play. Dorsey Levens gets it back with a good run across midfield. Levens, the veteran running back, running hard, takes it down to the 48-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Eagles. Earl Little made the tackle.
Well, he felt pretty good about that play, so what he's going to do, he's going to jump upfield this play. That's Gerard Warren. And watch what it does to the backside right here. That's his gap. You have to have run, read first, and you've got to flow down the line of scrimmage. He got a sack on the last play because he came over the top. So he figures, well, I want another one. And he jumps upfield and goes out of his lane, and that's where the backside rush lane opens up for Philadelphia.
They've spotted the ball inside the 48-yard line, and it's about a yard short. So it'll be a 3rd and 1 for the Eagles.
And that was a total freelance right there. Run defense, everybody has a gap responsibility. And when the whole offensive line goes one way, your defensive line has to close down with it. He went the opposite direction. That's freelance.
And a nice job by Dorsey Levens stepping in for Brian Westbrook. 2 tight ends for the Eagles, with Levens and Parry in the backfield. The Browns have had some good defensive stands in this game. The fake. McNabb wants to go up top. He's going deep for Terrell Owens. And it's batted away by Anthony Henry. Henry with excellent coverage on T.O.
Well, first of all, Anthony Henry has some good size. He's about 6'1", 6'2", 210 pounds. And earlier in the game, he bid on this. And he was running with T.O. before and looking back. But right now, on this play, he has T.O. pinned up against the sidelines. He can feel him with his shoulder, and he can look back at the ball and still make a play on the ball. Earlier in the game, it was a little bit further off the sideline, Sam, and it ended up a touchdown by T.O.
5th punt of the game for Dirk Johnson. He has time. Gets it up in the air. Rosen lets it bounce at the 1, and it's missed by J.R. Reed. Goes into the end zone for the touchback. 48-yard punt, but it only nets 28 as the Browns will start from the 20-yard line. When this game is over, a second game on the NFL on Fox is going on. We'll send you to either Dallas at Green Bay, Seattle at Arizona, or New Orleans at Oakland. And then World Series game number 2 tonight here on Fox. Dallas and Green Bay 3-3 early first quarter. You saw New Orleans and Oakland no score. Arizona leading Seattle 7-0. New England and the New York Jets underway. New England leading, battle of 2 unbeatens. Now the Browns. Terrell Smith shifting. The play fake by Garcia. He throws and completes it to Frisman Jackson. up at the 34-yard line. Third catch of the game for a man who's playing his first game of the season. Last week on the practice squad.
And you're right, Sam. They just brought him up from the practice squad due to the injury to Andre Davis, and also Quincy Morgan out of the loop, and of course, Antonio Bryant not knowing all the plays yet. But on the move is where plays are going to come from this offense. On the move, on the rolls are where plays are going to come from Jeff Garcia.
On first down, short drop and a fake. Garcia goes deep. Flag on the play. The pass for Northcutt is overthrown. Well covered by Lito Shepherd. And let's see.
Well, I think what you're going to have here is a little bit of holding against the Philadelphia Eagles.
On the defense?
Yeah, the linebackers, I believe, got a piece of Shea or Hayden.
Holding, number 55. 5-yard penalty. That's a first down.
Automatic first down. At the 39, Dhani Jones called on the penalty. The Eagles' 10th penalty of the game. They came into the game with the 5th fewest penalties in the league. So now a first down for the Browns with William Green and Terrell Smith in the backfield. Steve Hayden motion, blitz coming. It's Green bouncing off of Smith and getting across the 40, pickup of about 2 on the play. Jeremiah Trotter leading the push for the Eagles defense.
Sam, when you take a look at the Cleveland Browns offense, it's led by the fullback, the running game, and he'll pound you number 42. So how do the Philadelphia Eagles counter? They bring their linebackers downhill at you almost in a fullback type of mentality. They come running full speed into the line of the scrimmage, anticipating the snap count to try to blow it up before the fullback ever gets there.
They split the tight end wide left. Garcia swings it out to William Green. Stumbled and then gets tripped up. Falls forward to the 44-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Javon Curse and Corey Simon chase down William Green. Upset with himself that he stumbled on the play. Thought he could turn it into a big gainer. Antonio Bryant comes on the field. Phil Dawson, who has kicked 1 field goal today and has a streak of 24 in a row going.
They've got to get the ball to about the 34, 35-yard line. And that's where he's 4 for 4 right now inside 49, 40 to 49 area. So they've got to get the ball to about the 34, 35.
On 3rd down, Garcia throws, and the tight end, Aaron Shea, is taken down short of a first down.
They won't go anywhere.
That's
they don't
right.
Get a first down.
Good tackles on the play. Dhani Jones leading the way for the Eagles.
Is Butch going to go?
No. Fans want him to go for it. I don't think so.
Spot? Where are we going to spot it?
They'll spot about a yard short. A little over a yard short. Well, they want to bring the chains in just to show the coach officially how far away it is. Well, we saw Andy Reid on 3rd and 1 go deep and then punt on 4th down in similar territory. Let's see what Butch Davis elects to do.
Well, if you get it, you win the game. If you lose it, you don't get it, you lose the game.
Well,
you know? Because I think that if from first down, if you get another 10 yards out of it, you're in Phil Dawson territory, and he's been perfect this year kicking field goals. Was he 14 of 14? Is that correct?
That is correct. Well, Butch Davis with a little over a yard to go for a first down, leaves his offense on the field on 4th down.
Yeah, if you make it, I think you win the game, and if you don't make it, I think you lose the game. But this isn't a bad area either, Sam, to take the clock down a little bit. It's not. You line up and hit your hard count.
Okay, and try and draw him off.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia got him earlier with a hard count, you know, in about the 3rd quarter. He hit him with a hard count, and then you run the clock down, take the timeout, and then get your punt team out there.
Suggs and Smith in the backfield, but they're going. 2 tight ends.
No, there it is.
Timeout. Yeah, they tried the hard count. It didn't work. And now timeout is called by the Browns. They have 1 remaining in overtime. Eagles 5-0. The other two unbeaten teams are battling in New England, Patriots and the Jets. I think Andy Reid just alerting his players, be aware of a possible fake. Fifth punt of the game for Derek Frost. That's Reno Mahe. He's not a big return guy, but he secures the ball well. Former collegiate receiver.
Well, I believe they got their punt safe out here too. This isn't the punt return unit. This is the defense out here.
Mahe's at his own 10. Frost plenty of time, gets away a good high punt. Reno Mahe waves, it bounces, and is down at about the 21-yard line by the Browns. 9:15 remaining in overtime. 31-yard punt, no return. Now the Eagles get their second try in the overtime session. What do you look for here, Bill? What do you think? Got to go with the passing game.
Yeah, Philadelphia, the thing about it is they're missing Westbrook.
Right.
And he, like I said, Sam, he's 30% of their offense. And he's a guy that Andy talks about. When you're talking about working on mismatches, without Westbrook in there, now you roll coverage to 81, and you can still man up on the other guys.
Two tight ends in. Levens went one way, sent the other way by McNabb. Short drop. Here comes pressure from Orpheus Roy. McNabb gets away. Big run for Donovan McNabb. Up near midfield. What a run by Donovan McNabb to the 49-yard line. A 28-yard run.
And, Sam, that's what you do. Because, as I said, Westbrook created the other matchup problem. Watch 81 over here. They're going to double coverage. They're going to roll coverage to him over here. Then watch the rest. Everybody else is manned up. Manned up here, manned up here, manned up here. Two people up top there, so over T.O., so Donovan sees it and says, now I've got to resort back. I don't have the matchup problem with Bryant Westbrook gone. Now it's going to be on my legs. I'm going to be the other matchup problem on this defense.
Longest run of the game for the Eagles. Now the Eagles call a timeout.
I think that's because Donovan's winded. Look, he's sucking air there. It's been a long time since he's scrambled. And he has to now because he is the other matchup problem.
Yeah.
Westbrook, you can get him on a linebacker, you can get him on a safety, and now you have coverage problems. Same thing with T.O. You roll coverage to his side, someone else is going to pop loose. Without Westbrook, you take T.O. out of the picture, you can man up your other receivers, and now it becomes a McNabb game.
The Eagles have rushed for 111 yards. They have passed for 349. Reno Mahe has come into the backfield with Josh Perry.
Look at the rush attempts.
Yeah. Not running nearly as much as he used to. Through 5 games last season, 32 times. Coming into today.
That was his longest run of the year. That was his longest run of the year.
From midfield, first down Eagles. Out of the shotgun. Mahe's a good receiver. McNabb to Mahe, he's got it at the 45-yard line, just inside the 45.
Yeah, that's it. Reno Mahe is going to have to beat somebody because Reno Mahe is picking up for where Bryant Westbrook was. And you're going to get a linebacker or you're going to get a safety, and you've got to be able to beat those guys one-on-one. He comes out now, and Dorsey Levens comes back in.
Donovan McNabb has now hit 9 different receivers, make it 10 different receivers in the game. Here's Dorsey Levens to the 40-yard line, and he's got a first down. So the drive continues as they're getting close to David Akers' territory.
And Andy Reid's changed his philosophy up a little bit. He's gone 2 tight ends, and he's not going to get the Reno Mahe matchup. He's not going to look for that. He's going to line up with 2 tight ends, and he's in the territory right now where this next set of downs here, this next 3 downs, whether he gets a first down or doesn't get a first down, you're going to be in field goal territory for Akers. He's going to line up and pound you right now.
2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, and Dorsey Levens in the backfield. McNabb checking off at the line. Blitz coming. Levens Takes it outside. He's got 5. And a flag on the play. Holding is going to get called. Uh-oh. That hurts the Eagles again.
I think Chad Lewis on the outside there at the perimeter on the linebacker.
It was a good run on first down by Dorsey Levens.
Well, Dorsey Levens tried to take it.
Holding. Number 89. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Remaining. First down.
Chad Lewis is going to be right in here. Wrong Lewis. Says Greg Lewis. Chad Lewis right there. You see that fistful of jersey he had.
So the Eagles are set back to midfield. Chad Lewis goes to the sideline. Reno Mahe has come back in. 5 defensive backs in for the Browns. 1st and 20 for the Eagles.
Out of field goal range now, Sam. That penalty right there could be critical.
Everybody out. Dumps it off to Reno Mahe. Gets a couple of blocks. And dives forward inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
Hard running. That's hard running. That's effort. Screen was bobbled up. You know, it was kind of just all cluttered up in there. The timing wasn't great because they don't run the screen normally with Reno Mahe. He gets out there and gets up into the backs of those linemen really quick. And there's no time for that screen to open up and develop where he could use those linemen out in front of him. But still, he's got the ball back in manageable territory now where you pick up a few yards. And if you don't get a first, maybe risk Akers' field goal.
2nd and 8. Perry and Dorsey Levens back in the backfield. It's Levens. Again, he took it outside, gets down to the 31-yard line. And now they are in David Akers' territory. It's going to be 3rd and about 1.5 yards.
But do you see how quick the Philadelphia Eagles can change what their team is? For the most part of the game, when you had Westbrook in there and T.O. in there, it was about matchup. It was about pass protection. It was about Donovan McNabb sitting in the pocket all day with comfort and finding an open receiver in the matchups. And then when they need to, when they lose Westbrook and they create a problem, then they shift right over and become a power running team.
2 tight ends in. Reno Mahe in the backfield. Levens limped off a little bit. McNabb checking off. Timeout.
No, they didn't get it. That's delay a game. Did they get that time?
They got the timeout in. Tom White says timeout Eagles.
That clock hit 0 up there before they turned around with that T.
Now that keeps on going. The timeout signal by the quarterback to the official may have preceded that final second ticking off.
Well, I thought I saw 0 up there, my man.
No, you may have. Yeah, you probably did. But the call on the field, the official had the timeout signal, and by the time he signaled it, the clock had hit 0. Right now, the Eagles with about 3rd and 1.5 yards. They are within range for David Akers.
Well,
Jeff Garcia can only stand and wait and hope that his Browns can get the ball back.
His long this year has been 51 yards.
And he was kicking them from a lot longer in pregame warm-ups. Reno Mahe in the backfield. 2 tight ends, and the fullback is a wingback to the right. McNabb wants to put it up. He does. For Kingston, Owens almost intercepted by McCutcheon. A dangerous pass thrown by Donovan McNabb. I didn't understand that call at all.
Well, it's a shot. And they probably felt pretty comfortable with what they have in David Akers to take this shot here. They had one-on-one on the backside with Pinkston. And if you remember, that's exactly how they opened the game. With a long pass to Pinkston like that, who you have a tendency to go kind of just fall asleep on with Pinkston on the other side. There's so much attention to T.O. and the other receivers on this offense, you forget about Pinkston.
50-yard attempt for David Akers. Browns use their final timeout to freeze him a little bit. The veteran has kicked at least 1 field goal in every game this season, including this one.
You know, that's a waste of a timeout to me. Because David Akers, he's not your average kicker now. You know? He's not frail of mind. He's not weak of mind up there. These things don't bother David Akers.
Jerry Rosberg, the special teams coordinator, is on the field. So is Butch Davis. If the kick is good, we will then send you to the second game of our NFL doubleheader. Dallas at Green Bay for most of you. Seattle at Arizona. New Orleans at Oakland. Dallas leading Green Bay 6-3. As the final scores come through from the corner of your screen. Here we go. Coy Detmer is the holder. Mike Bartram, the long snapper. Akers from 50 yards to win it for Philadelphia. It's on the way, and it is good. David Akers wins it. The Eagles remain undefeated. They win it in overtime, 34-31. A tremendous game. The Eagles remain unbeaten.
Check out Coy Detmer on this, the holder, Sam. The snap is a little off kilter, and Coy Detmer really saves this thing. Never ruffled the timing of David Akers. A lot of kickers would see that bobble, and it would mess up their timing. That's a lot of faith in your holder to keep your poise.
He's 15 for 18 on the season. The Eagles find a way to win. The field goal, 50 yards, wins it for Philadelphia. They're 6-0. It's the Browns' first.